It's the fourth round of the 2022 NTT Data IndyCar Series, and we are in Birmingham, Alabama for the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama. Around this 3.7 mile circuit, we're in for action. Hello everybody, Joshua Birch in the commentary box, and I'm delighted to say joining me is Tom Dillon as well. We are all set for the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama here in Birmingham, in Leeds. Now, as two UK commentators, that does sound quite weird, but for Americans, I'm being told that it's quite normal. Around about 15 minutes until the green flag is given as well. We've had some cracking races so far this year. It all started back at the first race of the year in St. Petersburg. Scott Mclaughlin took the victory. We then moved over to Texas on the for the XPEL 375, and right at the line, Joseph Newgarden went right round the outside and took the victory in a breathtaking move against his teammate Scott Mclaughlin. Then we went to Long Beach, round 3 of the season as well, just last time out, just about 2 weeks ago. It was a very slow race, but it was a very good race for Will Power as well, his first win on the season. So 3 different races, 3 different winners, and Tom alongside me in the commentary box. We're all set for maybe a 4th in 4 at one of the most unpredictable circuits on the calendar, and there's rain in the air.
And yes, of course, it'd be the first actually wet IndyCar race that I've watched, so I'm very excited for that. It looks very sunny right now out there in Alabama, and well, confusingly in Leeds as well. I'm currently looking at the live typing that's on IndyCar.com, and it's saying the Renus VK, the pole sitter in the Chevrolet, is going to start on the Black Wall Firestone tyres, with Pato O'Ward starting on the Reds. So I wonder if there's going to be the regular IndyCar, multiple strategies running through a race.
Yeah, I think you're correct. There we go. Look, the starting grid just popped on as well for what happened. 90 laps ahead of us, and that's the timing screens there, all in option. I'm being told, by the way, as well, that shouldn't happen, by the way, where we've got half of the field's names completely wiped out. We should go green quite soon, though, once they come out of the pit lane. But Renus VK, as you say, on pole position. Pato O'Ward alongside him. Yeah, looks like black primaries for VK. O'Ward's on alternate as well. Primaries again, I think, for Alex Palou for Chip Ganassi Racing, so some real changeovers as well. If you are watching us as well, my timing screens have updated, might want to refresh them. Yeah, it takes a while to update the software. A bit of a new look, by the way, as well on the screen, because Tom's in the commentary box as well, and usually it's Josh. We finally actually got the software working where we can have 2 people, but now we need it to work for 3 people. So we've got the timings on right next to us on this side of the page. And on just alongside me, we'll have the race control messages. If anyone comes into the pit lane or if anyone goes off the track, that will tell us. And then we've got TweetDeck just below as well, next to Tom. We're getting ready for this one. IndyCar is always an exciting one, and in Alabama something always happens as well. But 90 laps ahead of us, it's quite a slug for the drivers, especially that long banked turn number 1. As they swing back through. There.
It is.
Yep, go on.
Well, it should be a very good race. It's a very American circuit, this one, much like well, most of the IndyCar calendar, really. It's not a great deal of gravel traps and things like that. It's very sandy, and should make for a pretty good race.
I'm buzzing. I can't wait for it. It's going to be absolutely fantastic as well as we come through. They're just trying to work out what time the green flag is, because we were told it was 5 minutes past the hour. It's now been pushed back 10 minutes. We understand it's because of the delay we had in a Indy Lights race just before. So that's what's going on with the 10-minute delay due to, I think, a red flag. The mascot, the Firestone mascot, walking down there as well. We'll have some interviews with some drivers shortly as well. To listen to what they're saying when NBC and Peacock get down there as well. Get in touch throughout this broadcast on the YouTube chat. We'll already have there as well. Josh Plays is around. We haven't just got rid of him. He's in the walls, like with the voice as well. He'll be sending us updates throughout the day. This is what happened, however, in practice. Alexander Rossi hitting the wall, breaking the rear suspension as well, knocking off the wing, and got their damage, as you can see on board with Jimmy Johnson's, and then Helio Casneves having to get towed away. It was all over, Tom, in qualifying, wasn't it? Dramatic for Rossi, not what you need to do, especially when overtaking here is at a premium. And there's Jimmy Johnson into the pit lane that I was told that was coming up, but we went to Helio Casneves instead on the pictures. And there's Casneves' spin beforehand. So I'm not getting told the correct pictures are coming up. Anyway, back to you, Tom. It was all action, isn't it?
And I've just realised the track's not sandy at all. I'm going to admit this is the first time I've seen the Grand Prix of Alabama track, or at least if I did watch the Grand Prix last year, I can't remember it. And in fact, I might have done it. Was it the race where Kevin Magnussen ended up leading? Or was that Road America? I can't quite
That was Road
remember.
America. Yeah, this is the one when Newgarden punched into the back at the start last year. The season opener
Oh, it was the
last
first
year.
race of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember it now. But yeah, so not sandy at all, but definitely difficult to overtake. And of course, we did see that dramatic pile-up into turn one last year. And hopefully we don't see that kind of thing again, although it was quite entertaining. And someone I am actually interested in is Callum Ilott, number 77, down in 11th position. He's starting in 11th in the Chevrolet on the black Firestones. And him on his Instagram earlier, actually, if I can find the quote, scrolling through the many Instagram stories that I haven't read yet. But there was a quote he said in an interview, and it said something along the lines of, if I can eventually find Callum Ilott.
Long Instagrams, aren't there, these days?
Yes, I know. Right, there we go. We'll search him instead. And
That'll do it. While you're doing that, I'll just say that last year, of course, Pato O'Ward took pole position, but it was Alex Palou who took victory here last season as well. And right now, Pato O'Ward starts second, and Alex Palou starts third on the grid. So they're right back up against each other again. As I hope there's Colton Herter just watching in as well, and I hope you found Venus VK's Insta. No, that was Callum Ilott you're searching for, aren't you?
Yes. So he said, "I have a good life. I can't complain. I just want to win some stuff."
I must admit, because he needs to win. He desperately needs to win, does Callum Ilott as well. He made his debut back at Portland last year, and now desperately wants to get back up there. He's had a few close chances this season already. Let's hope we'll go well. 90 laps ahead of us then for this race. It shouldn't take too long to complete, and I'm just trying to work out what's happened with all the monitors. I think I'm being informed that they've all glitched because they've all shifted positions, so the timings might update when we go green. If not, that'll be something to play around with. The 90 laps in the correct place, at least that's working. Has come through. We'll go through the grid when they leave pit lane, which should be in a couple of minutes' time. As they come through, the fans packing in as well, all on deck chairs. Quite surprised that actually. Usually there's got some good grandstands here, so general admission tickets are bang on. Sunny conditions. The pit lane and start line are in the same position, because usually at road courses they're in slightly different, but not going to go different. Okay, let's go down to trackside for the command to get start the engines.
Please welcome the Grand Marshal, Heisman Trophy winner, and college football legend Tim Tebow.
Drivers, start your engines! Engines are fired.
Yeah, here we go then. They are up. They will complete 3 formation laps before heading back to the green flag. Venus VK will lead them out of pit lane once again as well. We'll go through the grid when they head out as well. And I'm actually quite glad, because we had a wet race a couple of hours ago for the Indy Lights. It got delayed so much, but it's looking green so far. Here's the schedule then. This May 1st is the start of the month of May. May 14th takes us to the Grand Prix of Indianapolis. It's a Saturday race. May 29th, the Indianapolis 500, the 106th running. Can Helio Casneves make it the first one to be 5-time winner at that track? Join us to find out. June 5th takes us to Detroit. June 12th at Road America. July the 3rd at Mid-Ohio, the same weekend as the British Grand Prix. And on the July 16th will be on exclusive on Peacock as well. And brilliant here for YouTube watch-alongs. The Grand Prix of Toronto. Double header, July 23rd and 24th at Iowa. July 30th, the second Honda Indy Grand Prix. It'll be the Harvest Grand Prix. The 7th of August as well, the Grand Prix of Nashville. I'll either be trackside at Silverstone, still commentating there at night, or I will have got back from MotoGP. August 20th, the St. Louis 500 on the Worldwide Technology Raceway Circuit. Grand Prix Portland, September 4th, and on September the 11th, the Grand Prix of Monterey at Laguna Seca as well to round out the 2022 season. They are leaving the pit lane, which is great to see, and my timing screens are all messed up, so while I sort that out, Tom, who's your top prediction today? You've already mentioned Callum Ilott. Who else do you think is going to have some advantages?
Well, I think Pato Ward will get the win today, and a very, very talented driver in the McLaren, and I can't really see past him taking the win.
You're absolutely sure that's who you're going for? You're not going to change anything and go, oh, maybe this, maybe that? No,
I think Pato Ward is going to, or Scott McLaughlin perhaps could come through the field. He's looked very, very strong this year. Scott McLaughlin, of course, won the first race, almost won in Texas Motor Speedway, and wasn't really around in the third race, but he's been looking very, very good so far this season. That's for certain, Scott McLaughlin.
I'll save you. I'll fix the graphics. Let's go through the grid then. On row 1, Rinus VeeKay starts on pole position. He'll be alongside Pato O'Ward. Row 2 takes us with Alex Palou and Scott McLaughlin. The third row, Alexander Rossi and Felix Rosenquist. VeeKay has elected to start on the inside line, which means Pato O'Ward, Scott McLaughlin, and Rosenquist will be on the outside line, going down towards turn number 1. Forwarding down then, rows 4, 5 and 6 of this race. Joseph Newgarden starts 7th. Romain Grosjean starts P8. Graham Rahal starts 9th. Colton Herta rounds out the top 10. We're expecting some good things from him here today. And starting in row 11th place is Callum Ilott, and Marcus Ericsson starts in 12th. Further down then, and the halfway of the field on row 7, we will see Christian Lundgaard alongside Jack Harvey as well. Scott Dixon alongside Christian Lundgaard, I should say. Then row 8, Jack Harvey and Helio Castroneves. Row 9, Takuma Sato and David McCulcus, the rookie, starting down there as well in 18th position. Row 10, we'll see Will Power and Devlin DiFrancesco as well. Watch out for Devlin DiFrancesco as well. He's been in a bit of trouble the past couple of weekends. Let's hope he has a better run of it here on a road course. Carl Kirkwood starts 21st on the grid alongside Connor Daly. Dalton Kellett is 23rd alongside Simon Pagenaud in 24th. And the last row of the grid, row 13, Tatiana Calderon starts 25th. She's outqualified Jimmy Johnson, who is where it all began for his IndyCar career last year, causing both of the cautions. He's down in 26th position as well. And Jimmy Johnson is one of our onboard cameras as well, on with the Carvana. Now, we have opened up the scanner for race control audios between cars 2 and 18 in the field. So everyone from Pato O'Ward down, we will have on the audio here throughout the race. And we can also move to cars 20 and 77. That is our selected numbers as well. Let's go down pit road.
For you strategists, Barry?
For sure. I mean, the 2-stop and the 3-stop strategy is there. You know, last year we had some early yellow that really helped us do the 2-stop strategy, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, we're starting the race and see how it plays out. See if we get a yellow, but we haven't committed to either one right yet. So.
How quickly do you have to make that decision?
We'll see. We'll see how much we're racing when we first start. But if you're going to do the 2-stop, you need to start saving it right away. Otherwise, it gets worse.
There you go. And Townsend, you know, kind of starting third, maybe he can kind of play that game a little bit and watch what everybody else is doing sitting back there. Alex Palou trying to win back-to-back here at Barber. Yep.
We've just been told as well that the tyres have changed for the starting tyres. So Rinus VeeKay, so this is the drivers starting on the primary tyres. Joseph Newgarden, Colton Herta, Will Power, Connor Daly, Dalton Kellett, Simon Pagenaud, and Tatiana Calderon. Everybody else is starting on the alternate red tyre. So they've changed their minds since they left the pit lane. And I've had that piece of paper handed to me, and it has now updated on the timing screens as well. So Newgarden, Herta, Power, Daly, Kellett, Pagenaud, Calderon, all there on the lines. Okay, we're coming to the green flag for the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama. Stand by for action, and apparently full course yellow. We had a green flag and they've gone to full course yellow. We are racing 2 by 2, side by side. So out of the last corner, they're not lined up though, Tom. They might call this one off, and I think that's why we've got a yellows. Yeah, they've called it off. They're too far back. They can't run. So the race has an aborted start. I was wondering why. So Venus VK, he didn't back the pack up too much, and he was just too gun shy, really. He just went for it, and he had to throw the caution immediately on lap 1.
Yep, that was really, really poor from IndyCar. 26 people on the grid. VK needs to realise that he has to back up the pack because, everyone is so spread out naturally over formation lap, particularly on a twisting and winding circuit, that they want to give each other space, that you have to back them up, especially when you get into sector 3. Just back them up, make sure they go too wide, and everything should be okay. As for the runners, I can tell you that Newgarden, Herta, Willpower, Daly, Kellett, Pagenaud and Calderon are all on the black tyres, with the rest of the grid on the reds. So we heard just from Colton, it was Colton Herta.
It was Colton Herta, yeah.
There we go. That it is going to be a 2 or 3 stop race, and I wonder what that is going to look like. You'd presume that the red runners are going to want to just get away from this one as quickly as they can before their tyres go off.
Just heard over the radio for readers.
For the start here.
Yeah, so that first lap, this is officially lap 1 of the race. We're going to go green, though, on lap 2. VK's been told, bunch them up this time, and he's doing just that, coming out now of the last 2 corners. They're much closer together this time. IndyCar are going to go green. Here we go then, folks. It's time to begin round number 4 of the season. The Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama. VK on the inside, Award on the outside. Green flag is out here in Birmingham. It's a good start. Down towards turn 1 already. Award defends from the back of Joseph Newgarden as well. Scott McLaughlin's made a great getaway. Wow. They've all made it through turn 1, but it's always turns 2 and 3 where we often see contact. Again, that's the McLaren of Felix Rosenquist getting a little tasty. McLaughlin's moved up to 3rd position as well. Joseph Newgarden was making some moves as well. It's a good start from everybody as we enter the hairpin for the first time. Yeah.
And it was a very, very good getaway from Renus Vigans. Here we go. It's one of the McLarens is coming under pressure and now down the inside.
Rosenquist past Rossi, was it?
It's Rosenquist. Rossi.
Yeah, Rossi,
and he's got the move done. So he's up a position on this circuit that's not the easiest to overtake. And I think I saw smoke out of one of the cars in this big train.
Yeah, definitely Di Francesco also getting a little bit caught up in a battle further back as we complete the first lap. 89 well, we complete lap 2 technically, isn't it? Because we've already had the first that was thrown under the caution. Good start then from everyone. Clean start, which is what was good. Usually the nerves get a little bit jittery if we've had a delayed start because the engine starts to raise temperature. And yeah, as you just heard, that was VK's radio. Award is 0.8 of a second back already on the opening lap as we open up the timing tower as well on the NBC guide so we can actually see everyone, where everybody is.
Clear the tires, 8 back.
Clear the tyres, 8 back as Award 2nd, Palou 3rd. So Palou has managed to hold off. Now we go. McLaughlin did move up into 3rd place as well. He's got the traditional Penske livery this weekend, so he's not in the dark mustard yellow that he usually is, so it's quite hard to figure out where he is. Joseph Newgarden this weekend running in a similar livery as well, but he's now in that blue front, grey back. So it's quite easy to spot in certain camera angles. So one of them goes in front first and we only look at the back. Me and Tom are going to have some difficulties working out who that is. But clean start from everyone so far. No one. Jimmy Johnson's actually used 3 seconds of push to pass. He's down to 197 and he's got past Tatiana Calderon on the way through as well. So that's good stuff so far, I would say. Don't you think there, Tom?
Pressure, settle in.
Yeah,
hit that
fairly
number.
clean
Great job.
as
Good
well. No
start.
major issues. I saw Lungard, Dixon, and Sato falling down the order, though. I think that might have been a timing tower glitch. Will Power is on the comeback trail down in 19th. He's made up a couple of positions.
Clear by 8.
The latest move of those being on the number 18 of David Malakas. And looking further up the field, 109 on the previous lap for Rena's VK. He's already pulled out almost a second on Pato O'Ward behind. And remember, for the people on the Firestone Reds, which is everyone in the top 9, they're going to want to really try and get away and just use as much of their tyres as they can before they have to go into the pits, which I imagine won't be that long into this race.
Now they're going to want blood as well when they come in. They're going to want to find everything and do everything as well and not get held up by facts and laws and that sort of thing as well. They're going to be wanting to go straight out there, wanting to make the moves. We ride with the Gamebridge car of Colton Herter as well, trying to find some good, nice positions. And already the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama is steering up with 86 laps to go of the 90. And we've got 2 moved up positions then. Colton Herter has used a push to pass. Jack Harvey has used about 13 seconds of his push to pass. You each get 200 per lap.
By 10. No pressure.
So it's closing down out there at the moment.
And, yes, I'm looking on the timing screen, and actually the person who's used the most is Jack Harvey, who's only got 183 seconds of push to pass left. And if I'm not mistaken, that's seconds used over the course of the entire race, isn't it?
Yes.
They get... And so Jack Harvey clearly trying to push on so far in 12th position. Callum Ilott is up into 8th. He was someone we said we wanted to keep an eye on, though it should be noted that he was getting past Newgarden and Herter both on the black tyres, so we'd expect him to be getting past. It'll be interesting to see if he can now focus his attention on Romain Grosjean just ahead of him. That gap is up to 1.2 seconds. And now the field are starting to just settle into a rhythm a little bit here in Alabama.
Getting tasty as Hall did set a new personal best, 1:10.389 as well. Fastest lap is to VK, 1:09.596. So he's running about the top 5 running in 1:09s. Everyone else running in the 1:10s, but VK is comfortably 3/10 clear, then onward ward every single lap, which is great. As they come through, IndyCar just confirming as well with their timings that the yellow flag was for a no start.
Nice job, keep hitting that number.
And they have blamed VK for that as well because he didn't back the pack up much because the safety car was in way before any danger was scheduled to be predicted. So that's good news. Hopefully as well, Tom, your pictures are moving a lot smoother now. I've changed TweetDeck from the map book to the computer. So hopefully you can see smoothly now the screens as they come up. And 1 second already. So we're into this unusual strategy where we have to wait and see what everyone is playing. 1:09.596. I'm taking these off, actually, my glasses, because they're not helping at the moment. I'm trying to keep an eye on the timing screens because they keep changing every second. You're seeing it the same as me. They are changing, and it is hard to keep across who's who, where's where, and how is how. Trying to find out who. Go on.
Yes, the most frustrating thing is the fact that it's showing the driver's best lap in the session, even though we're 4 laps into the race, 7 laps into the race now, I guess. It's very frustrating. You'd think they'd just let that go until about lap 10 or something, when people aren't just going to be setting the fastest lap after fastest lap. And it means there's just a sea of purple on my timing screen right now. But we're looking forward into the race. It is lap 7 of 90, which means we've had 6 laps because, of course, we had an aborted start. So the first lap of the race was essentially a formation lap.
Yeah.
And top 5 currently VK, O'Ward, Mclaughlin, Polo, and Rossi. We're just trying to figure out and just size out what everyone is trying to do in this race and when we expect them to start to pit.
I'd just like to point.
1.3 back. Let's shoot for ECR 70.
Just like to say to I hope I'm going to call you Isaac because I can't pronounce your first name because I haven't got these working yet, my glasses. So Isaac, I just want to point out, so we won't be able to see the track map. That's unfortunate. You've reminded me I can actually put the track map on. So thank you for reminding me of that. So I'm going to try and get that on for you in this race as we're still going on. Right now, VK's a 1.42 second advantage. Watch out for Herter. He had a bad qualifying, as I said. Started this race down the order in 10th. Now he's dropped to 11th, but still, bad qualifying by his standard. He wanted to be in the top 3, hasn't got in the top 3, was hoping for rain throughout this race. There is a 50% chance, but right now it's blue skies. Still, it's a long race, though, 90 laps. So Herter's got a mission to prove here, and he wants to go up, up, up as well to all the remainder of this. Just getting everything sorted. Go on.
Currently down in 11th, Colton Herter, though we'd expect that on the black wool tyres. And you can't really be expecting him to make any moves whilst he's on a slower compound. It's going to be when those red tyres start to go off and he's able to really push on. The gap is 0.5 of a second between him and Newgarden.
Oh, can you hear me, Tom? I can't hear you at the moment, Tom.
Oh,
You've gone very quiet.
let me see if my microphone.
No worries.
There we go. It's all the same on my end, but yes.
Oh, so yeah, I've lost you on my end, so apologies for that. So while we try and get that sorted, then at the current moment, we are on lap 8 of this race, lap 9 completed. 82 to go, and I feel sorry for Thomas, just sat there now looking miserable while we try and figure out what the problem is in terms of the audios. But this is looking quick so far as well. Just try talking again, would you please?
So I was trying to say that Colton Herter started to use his push to pass. He's used 11 seconds of it so far. And yes, he's tried to push on against Newgarden, who is 0.5 of a second ahead of him. Newgarden still setting fastest laps personally of the race, despite the fact he hasn't used any push to pass just yet. It's the Honda versus the Chevrolet, and Colton Herter, of course, being linked to Formula 1 seats virtually on a daily basis at this point. And, well, to get into Formula 1, we hope that he's able to really kick on here. He has got a habit of crashing out of good positions, Colton Herter. I think that's something that he will need to get licked, but it all starts today with trying to get past Jason Newgarden.
And it's looking okay so far. Apologies if you can't hear Tom correctly at the moment. I'm trying to fix it. Tom, do you want to just give us a hello?
Hello. I hope you caught that entire monologue.
Yeah, we did. We did. I think we heard it. There we go. We're back on. No, something went wrong there completely, and I don't know what. I just completely lost you for a second there. I think we heard a little bit of it, but apologies for that.
Lovely.
Back on. This is the problem. Yeah, these are the problems of live television that we love. Marcus Ericsson is coming into the pit lane, I'm being told as well, so he's our first stopper of the day out here. So our question is, as well, is he going to go for a 3-stopper? We heard earlier on Colton Herter and his pit crew saying it's going to be a 2-stop race, but lap 11 of 90, and for tyres, Tom, that's a bit on the nose there.
Down into last, of course, Marcus Ericsson now, which means he will have the track, not the track position, but he'll have the clear air. He's on to the black wool tyres, and it was 10 laps between himself and his first pit stop. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Does that mean that he's taking an early pit stop to go onto the 3-stopper, or is he trying to... are those tyres just going to last about that much time?
I reckon if he's planning a safety car, if he's Newgarden's coming in, as is Harvey and Cash and Evers. This is I think this is them reacting to what has just happened with Marcus Ericsson, because I think they're all seeing if there is a safety car, then Marcus is going to have a big advantage for stopping a little bit earlier and gaining track position, because tyre wear is not a big factor at this track. It's why they're planning only 2 stops. But for lap 12 of 90, if everyone was fueled short at the start, it makes more sense than just quickly go for it elsewhere. Into the pit lane then. This is Jack Harvey, put on the alternate tyres. And alternates going on now for Joseph Newgarden. So everyone's on the primaries at the beginning of the race, starting to come in. Because Newgarden started on the primaries. Herta started on the primaries. He's not coming just yet. Harvey, checking him. He's done an alternate tyre. So this is interesting to go off that soft tyre quite early on in this race. As he's coming back up now at the top of the hill at turn 4. And he's rejoined Newgarden down in... Well, he's lost a lot of positions, hasn't he? He's down in 19th place now, is Joseph Newgarden. So the champions...
Herta thinks the pits as well.
Wow, Herta. So he did start on those primary tyres. Kirkwood's on the alternate tyre. And he is coming in. Connor Daly on the primaries coming in. So this is super early pit stops for everybody. We're expecting them in around about another 15 laps. So they must have all been fueled really light to try and gain places at the start. It hasn't worked out at all for Herta. He started 10th and is now going to drop even further back. And it's under a green flag pit stop. Stops on the marks.
And he really didn't get much use out of those harder black wall tyres, did he? Now onto the softer red wall tyre. However, Carlton Herta, starting on the alternate strategy to the majority of the top 10, lost positions to Callum Eilert, lost a position to, I believe, Graham Rahal at the start as well. And now he's all the way down in 17th, albeit not on the same pit stop strategy as everyone else. And hoping now, really, that there's a safety car. And I wonder if that's really what that all was about, just trying to get rid of the advantage from a safety car that Ericsson would have gained. Grosjean now into the pits as well. He started on the red wall tyre. We'll see what he comes in to fit. I imagine it'll be a set of black tyres once more. Lap 15 of 90, so pitting very, very early indeed. The entire field very reactionary at this stage.
Yeah, it's a 1:10 lap time, so it's a long race. It usually goes to full distance of 2 hours as they come back through. Grosjean then, I think, has left the pit lane on black primaries, I want to say. Yes, he has. You're right there, Tom. Black primaries going on. This is the 28 coming in now as well of Grosjean leaving the pit lane. So I don't know if our timing screens are A, behind or way forward, because I think NBC are playing with time here. They're showing us replays when they're meant to be showing us live coverage, because Grosjean left the pit lane about 10 seconds ago, and he's slow at the exit as well. He's holding up Joseph Newgarden, who goes right round the outside. Newgarden's having flashbacks to lap 1 last year when he made contact with one of the Andrettis. So it's a good stuff now. They've all got through. Well, and that is Penske versus Andretti as well. So the 28 just narrowly avoids contact as they come back through.
I think it would actually have something to do with Sky, because of course they've got to receive the pictures from NBC, and then the NBC they've got to send the pictures to us. And usually it's a 7-second delay between live pictures and receiving it on your satellite telly. But I imagine once they have to have a middleman as well, it's a further bit of time. So that's probably something to do with that. That explains why our timing screens are ahead of the broadcast for once. But lap 15 now, and trying to figure out where everyone is standing in this race.
Andretti,
sorry, Josh. No one down to 19th has pit, but then 19th to 26th have all made a pit
side
stop
by side
in this race.
Yeah, this is Herta dive bombing, but going too deep into turn 1, trying to get ahead of Romain Grosjean, and that's just messed up both their tyres. Grosjean's on the black primaries, but look at Herta. He only put those tyres on a couple of laps ago. The front right is starting to grain big time in the centre of the tyre. Now, that is not good news. Maybe that 2-stop prediction from Herta's pit crew is massively, massively wrong as well. So they are really having to work on their feet here, aren't they? Unless they told us it to lie to us. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 4 stops today, maybe even 5 if the caution came out. They've still got the tyres to do that, as well as we ride now on board. And that is a pass. Oh, who's passing who there? That's well, the split screen's open, but not telling us who's who. Grosjean gets passed by Herta, who slides around the outside, becomes the inside, down into the snake section of turns 8 and 9. Great job there from Herta. He does get ahead of Romain Grosjean, and I'm desperately trying to find out. That was Herta passing Calderon according to this screen, but it's not. So the timing screens are wrong again. Can't keep anything up because Herta's down in 20th, but we're just watching him now passing that of Newgarden and Ross and Grosjean. So everyone's all over the place already at the moment. Yeah.
Got a penalty, Josh.
Oh, nice.
It flashed up on my screen. A monetary penalty, so he's going to get fined for hitting his own equipment when he came into the pit stop, which is very easy to do in IndyCar with the way the brakes are into the box. Looking further down the field, as we see Joseph Newgarden got past Tatiana Calderon. I think that's what we were looking at.
Yeah.
There, it was a pretty standard move. Newgarden is now, well, he's leading all of the people that have made a pit stop. And I'm watching a replay of what's happened with Colton Herta, I think it was, on Romain Grosjean, and he went down into turn one. It was down the inside. He absolutely sent one on the dive bomb and then just locked up the rear ever so slightly. And in an attempt to kick the car back round, he's had to overcorrect and just take to the escape road. And it's not much of an escape road, I'll give you that. But no major dramas, was able to get back past Grosjean on the later in that lap. And now Colton Herta sits in 20th ahead of Grosjean and focusing on Tatiana Calderon, of course, on those red tyres.
Yeah.
I don't think his team would have expected to be on at this stage.
Mega control things at the moment then as they come through. Surprised actually, Tom, that this is the situation we're seeing ourselves in, that Herta's so far back. He did try that strategy and now he's having to pay for it. Now he's going to attack Tatiana Calderon. He's on the back of her now.
Yep, and,
oh, you've gone again.
MVP have immediately switched away, so appreciate that, Americans, as we head on to watch two drivers fighting. And I have to say, I'm not clued up on my liveries here.
I can't tell who that is. It's Newgarden. It's
Newgarden,
that's for sure. Or is it Grosjean? They've both got very similar liveries at the moment with a blue front and white rear. I told you this gets hard.
Herta's through.
Yeah.
Herta is through on Tatiana Calderon, and the TV director didn't quite show us that, but that's the new red wall tyres against the 17-lap-old black wall tyres, and Herta through pretty safely, now focusing his attention on Newgarden. So perhaps this has been a bit of a masterstroke with how quickly they're back through the field. We're riding aboard on the television with the Hy-Vee car of the Honda, and I'm
Jack Harvey.
It's Jack Harvey. There we go, the Brit, and he is trying to make moves on. Who's he trying to make moves on?
Grosjean, I believe. 28.
Romain Grosjean.
Yeah.
So Grosjean not going as forward as he anticipated. Harvey has pit, and now around the outside, Jack Harvey going to try and make a move. No doing there, and just has to follow Grosjean throughout the rest of this circuit. I imagine going for a move down into turn one.
Looking for it, trying to go through, holding the opportunity as well would actually be quite nice as well. Keep your fingers crossed, though, that we're actually going to have a decent run at this race. They're desperately trying to hold that now as they come through. Right, I am trying to get the track map operational, but unfortunately, every time I click it, Tom goes down in voice, so that's not working at the moment. So we're trying to find out why that's happening. If not, I'm sure we can fix it soon as they come through. Might take some reorganising, but I have got several ideas at the moment. And this is some great battling. 2.4 seconds VK has to O'Ward as things stand. And he's increasing that gap throughout the opening stint. Now, up the inside, that's Grosjean making a move on the number 11. So Grosjean getting ahead of Tatiana Calderon now. That was crucial that he cleared her as well. Tatiana, no offence here, she's a fantastic driver, but right now, on old tyres, she's in the way of everybody on the fresher rubber, and they're losing their advantage of why they pitted early. It's lap 20 of 90. We're 23 minutes into this race as well. 70 laps to go as things stand. Now, this is more like it. If they wanted to make a two-stop work, everybody who hasn't pitted, so that's VK down to Pagano in 15th. They're making it work by going longer, as Dalton Kellett came in and left the pit lane as well.
And this is playing into the hands of VK, who has got complete clear air. He's just able to kick on and get away with his race. The top 10, I would say, are in pretty good standing in this race. Will Power is finding himself in a lofty 13th after starting really far down the order, of course, doing a long stint on those black wall tyres. And he'll be looking to, I imagine, pit for a bit of a power stint.
Oh, nice.
On the next one.
Nice, like we did there. That's good. Keeping up.
Also, avoided saying the
power
word.
and power, yeah. Very good. VK and O'Ward
Oh,
then, yeah.
right, power stint. There we go.
Yeah, power stint and power. That was masterful already. Now, closing up then, Marcus Ericsson is on the back of Tatiana Calderon now, so he needs to get past her. Marcus was the first one to pit in this race as well, so there's advantages there. As if you think we're the ones having problems today with all the equipment, Sky have lost Tom Gaymore. And just got him back now, actually, as we're talking about it. So everyone's going through a very interesting early stint. Broadcasting IndyCar is beyond a doubt the trickiest series we cover because everything just decides to go wrong. It's because it's a stateside
Because
broadcast.
They're in the Stone Age.
Yeah, they really are. Their technology is so far behind everybody else. I mean, they have got a track map, but they leave it on the app. So we're trying to get that on the screen, and we can't get it. So we're trying.
Even their graphics package is wildly old.
Yeah.
And
I don't
nasty. And
like
I
all.
do feel bad for Gaymore. They hit him, I assume, with a laptop. As always seeing a move. I think that's Marcus Ericsson, perhaps down the inside. And who was that on? It was down at turn 1, I believe.
Yeah, it's Calderon, so he's passed up to 21st position now. So Tatiana's gone back. I tell you what, their timing screen's gone off again. NBC's broadcast is as you say, stuck in the Stone Age. It's quite hard to tell. But yeah, so that was Ericsson up to 21st, passing Calderon, who hasn't stopped yet on the black primary tyres. So that needs to change. VK's done 21 laps on those tyres and on fuel. So now we know who was fueled earlier and who was fueled later in this stint as well. This is turning out to be a great race.
Is it just us in the Netherlands, or is the sound horrible? On IndyCar, it does tend to be quite horrible. As I said, I feel sorry for Gaymore. They probably sit him down with a laptop and a microphone and say, just watch the IndyCar race.
It's basically what it is. Finally, the sound works. That was really bad. Yeah, it's not us. I can hear it too over my earphones with it all as well. Trying to read the race is really hard. So I think this is actually one of the most difficult broadcasts I've done because every timing screen is wrong and saying different things. And we haven't actually got anything from NBC. Of course, it doesn't help that this circuit in Alabama is actually one of the least up-to-date on the IndyCar calendar. The Technology Center is literally... Their welcome desk, I'll have you know, has got a Windows 95 computer. And that's one of the big, bulky white ones. So that's how out-of-date their tech is over there at the moment. Anyway, VK is increasing their gap. It's 1.8 seconds now. McLaughlin's dropping back. We've run caution-free in this race. The start did get called off due to the fact that they weren't backed up properly. But other than that, they are running up to date. Ericsson now, he's cleared. Tatiana Calderon is faster on that previous lap. It's now a 1:09.125. So he's lapping around about the same pace as VK is, which is just spectacular, as Helio Castroneves has moved up into 22nd place. So he's got past Connor Daly, if my timing screens are right, because we're only seeing 25 of the 26 cars, and that one missing is Helio Castroneves. He's not appearing on my timing monitors anywhere at the moment. There he is, and he is in 22nd position. He's now past Tatiana Calderon as well, which is just delightful news. So that is delightful news.
If you give me a moment, I think I can actually do something about the track map. There we go. Hang on. If you give me 1 second.
Oh, absolutely.
I can sort this out for you. So give me 1 moment, and I'll get you your track map up.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, I'll give Tom 1 moment. If Tom can do it, then I'll let Tom do it. Absolutely. This is what happens when we have an ERC commentator who know the technical difficulties of broadcasting well, as well. They're also very good to fix it. So, 67 laps to go. We've yet to see the first proper pit stops. We've had the early stoppers trying for a 3-stopper, and that is Newgarden, Herter, Grosjean, Harvey, Ericsson, Castroneves, Daly, Kellett, and Kirkwood. Tatiana Calderon, the only one of that pack not to pit, and she's dropped down to 23rd now, and she's going to drop right down to last when she pits. Might get the advantage at stop number 2, but that is an entirely different question. as we come back up as well. Castro Neves has set a personal best. You can see at the top there, 109.076, so he's improving. There's Jimmy Johnson, and Johnson in 16th place. It's taken him a year, but he says, I'm finally up to speed with Indy cars. I love racing them, and he's now battling for points as well, top points. He's 16th. He's yet to stop. He's the last one not to stop, and he's got Joseph Newgarden right behind him as we flash on board the Carvana, taking a wide line, and Newgarden slips up the inside doing so. So that's not Jimmy's talent letting him down. He's a 7-time NASCAR champion. It's just the fact that Newgarden's tyres are so much faster and so much fresher compared to his as well. It just makes more sense to do that as they come through. So let's go quickly over to the chat. So Tom's working on getting that, so don't worry, Isaac. The sound is good on my end. And since it says the Dutch commentator blamed the Americans, I thought maybe everyone had it. We did. I didn't hear it either. But luckily, it's all good now. Yeah, we were hearing like little spots over it as well. I think, is that VK? And VK's lost time now to Ward. So the gap is down to 1.7 seconds. And it was up to 2.3. So he's lost a little bit of time, half a second. That's probably been shaved off by running wide somewhere on the track as well. So we'll keep an eye up on that one as they run backwards and forwards. And 1.7 seconds, the current gap, as I said. 3.8 to the rest of the field as they run through. And just keep your fingers crossed. It's going to be a smooth run and a clean race, because otherwise we are really in trouble if they don't pit. I think the top are waiting also for the opportunity to come in and put on some new tyres. Tatiana Calderon comes into the pit lane now. So she dives in for her first stop of the day. Here's Alex Palou, the champion. Oh, you are a genius.
There we go.
Genius.
If you give me a moment, I've got to I've
resize you.
Yeah, not resize me. I'm fine. I've got to because it's flipped. So I've just got to quickly flip this over if I can. But there we go. The power of using OBS to achieve your goals. But
I may as well just increase your video size, to be fair, as they come through. VK, O'Ward, McLaughlin, Palou, New Rossi, the top 5 as things stand. Oh no, it was fine the way it was.
Yeah, your track map was in reverse, but there you go. It's all fine. And I'm not convinced it's there you go. I have to have this open for it.
It's all right. I'll deal with that. And you talk us through the commentary for a sec, and I'll deal with it. I'll get it all looking good.
But there you go. So moving on in this race, and I actually have to have this window focused for me to update the track map. But I'll talk you through the technicality of that in a second, because it's very, very bodgy. But
can you actually see the race, mate?
Can I what? Sorry.
Can you see the race?
Yes, I can see the race.
Oh,
Everything's
great.
Fine. But yes, currently watching Jimmy Johnson, who's just come into the pits. And actually, this gives me a live timing screen as well, so I can just focus on this window completely. Isn't that lovely? But yes, currently watching on board as we head through into... I'm trying to figure out the lap. You'll have to apologise. I have to apologise because I'm trying to figure out a brand new timing screen. Oh no, I shouldn't resize the window.
Yeah, new timing screen. VK leads, O'Ward second, McLaughlin third, Palou fourth at the moment with a 2.07 second advantage. So the wonders of modern tech, as we get through on that one. And just desperately trying to hold through, actually, and keep it stable. Might have to resize you completely there, so give us a second. If I take me off main focus and put you on main focus and put you in full screen, it might actually work a lot better. So apologies to all our viewers. You wanted the tracker. Yes. Tom's given us the tracker, which is very kind of him. So while we get this operational, what do you reckon, Tom? Who do you think is going to have the biggest pit stop advantage and who's going to have the biggest disadvantage? Because Calderon's coming to the pit lane now, so she's going to jump everybody in the next couple of moments.
Yes, and well, I've actually got everything back functional now, so that's lovely. I didn't even have to have it focused. But yes, Calderon looking in a very, very good position, and it's about time. She hasn't really impressed in IndyCar this year so far, and she'll be hoping that she can sort of clear her name as one of the back markers in Formula 2. She drove quite well in WEC last year in the number 1 Richard Mille car, and looking to do it in IndyCar as well.
Do you reckon that she's actually going to be up there as a top runner once she gets e-racing or IndyCar racing legs, so to speak? Do you reckon she could actually make it up there as a quick driver, or is her time really gone?
I'm not too sure, really. I don't think she's got the skill to be up at the top. I'm not saying she's a terrible driver. Just, I think if we're going to be completely realistic about it, I don't think she's in the same league as some of the guys over here. But I'm sure she can get some good points, finishes. And, well, in fairness, she's not really been blessed with a particularly good race package either, has she?
No, she hasn't.
We're running on board on the TV screen with one of the McLarens. I'm trying to figure out who this is.
I think that is that's Rosenquist, if I'm not mistaken.
I wanted to guess Rosenquist, but I also didn't want to look silly. But who's he chasing down then, Felix Rosenquist? He's chasing down Takuma Sato. He's actually come into the pits. In fact, there's been a flurry of pit stops.
There we go.
Here.
They're coming in now.
Rossi, O'Ward, Ilott, Lundgaard, Sato, Matsukas, Pagano, all of them coming into the pits, and all of a sudden the timing screen has absolutely shifted as we try and figure out who's going to come out where. This is really the bit of strategy where Marcus Ericsson and his fellow early pit stop takers are going to see how well their gamble worked. Rinus VeeKay, still race leader, stays out.
NBC are having issues as well. They've lost commentary, so Tom Gamel's taken over. McCulker's on a 9.9 second stop as well. And here come the top 3. And our viewers have just boomed as well. So welcome, everyone. We've finally fixed our technical difficulties. We've got a track mapping operation as well with a little tweet deck and all the race control messages. So enjoy that. Joshua Birch with Tom Dillon alongside me in the commentary box. Nearly said Tom Gamel there as well. That's because I've just said him. But VeeKay pits, McLaughlin pits, Palou pits as well. And actually, Palou's jumped right up to the race lead because his box is, of course, further down the pit lane. So this is it then. Lap 30 of 90 to make the 2-stop work. This is the time they needed to come in. It hasn't worked for Colton Hertz. He had to stop early due to problems, we believe as well. But who's going to get the better stop? That's going to give the lead still to VeeKay because it's a long stop for Palou. Question if it was a caution, though, this could have been, Tom, a great opportunity to put them out there and take advantage on the full fuel for the rest of the race and get that pit stop down. Because it's a green flag stop, they're losing time hand over fist, and it's now Newgarden in the lead of the race, or is it? Because he's battling with Is that Tatiana Calderon? Yes, it is. Tatiana Calderon's moving up there, and there's Colton Herta getting through, and Tatiana's just pitted for brand new tyres as well, so it's a shame she's dropped down the order.
To look rather silly. And
yes,
no, Alex Palou leads the race from Rinus VeeKay, and they've both had a pit stop. So VeeKay's going to have the newer tyres, isn't he? And he's going to have to chase down that 4.5 second gap. He's still got 190 seconds of an I apologise.
Well,
IndyCar's being really weird with its timing screen. It's actually Newgarden who leads the race. VeeKay in third. Colton Herta is in second. So currently, their alternate strategy is working absolutely wonderfully. And I think I should take this opportunity as there's a little battle going on the track between Herta and Newgarden in first and second. But for those interested in how we got this track map up, I've actually had to use Samsung Dex to basically screen share my phone to the computer, and then used OBS virtual camera to get it to Josh.
You're going to have to teach me how to do that so I can get this working, because I had to use TeamViewer and it shut you down. So you're going to have to teach me how to do that, and I can finally get that sorted for next time out. Ideally, I want to create like a broadcast thing where people can just tune in, like yourself, Tom, come in and you can have driver tracker timing and TV pictures all on one screen. That way, it's a lot easier for everyone. A bit like we've got now.
Could be very useful, but I think I could help you with that actually if you message me after the race.
Caution!
Good idea for that, but let's focus on. As we see, there's a move, and it's one of the.
That's why there's a caution!
Into the wall!
And that's
into the gravel trap, even not the wall. Who's that? It's the number 77. It's Callum Ilott.
Callum Ilott, your picker winner is in the gravel. He's beached it. The full course caution comes out. And I don't believe it. If they had just waited, it would have been the perfect pit stop. Everyone is pitted now, so they'll just come in maybe for fuel. But now that's a tremendous advantage to everybody who came in for that early stop on lap 15. So people like Herta as well can come in, change tyres, and have the advantage. And is that a move under caution? What's going on? Oh, this is a replay. So NBC have actually lost their graphics. They've had a power cut. That's why we're having bad coverage today as well. Our own technical issues aside. So Ilott takes it too deep on the brakes, Tom, loses the rear, and goes to the gravel.
Yeah, and well, that was just about typical for someone I've bid for the race. But he was just forced out wide a little bit and then lost the car and around into the gravel. Callum Ilott could be fighting for race wins in this series once he gets used to the car. And I was actually having this conversation with my dad the other day because he's a bit of a Callum Ilott fanboy.
Oh, really?
And he is, yes. And we were saying how you see some of these European guys, Grosjean, Ilott, they've spent all of their career driving what are essentially mini versions of Formula One cars.
Yeah.
So when they get into IndyCar, they haven't driven this style of car before. So it takes them a while to get up to speed, whereas someone like Colson Herta has spent his career driving, small versions of IndyCar for Indy Lights and stuff. So it's once Ilott and that kind of breed as Newgarden and Herta into the pits. I imagine
they're all
their
coming
last
in.
pit stop of the day. Yes, actually, a lot of the drivers are coming in as well, Harvey and Grosjean too. But once he gets up to speed with the car, we'll see like Grosjean fighting for race wins and things like that. But right now, into the gravel, fighting for any race wins from there.
Half a turn if we can.
Pit stop if we can. Interesting. So that's Grosjean in as well. Harvey, Ericsson, Cashnevers, Daly, Kirkwood pits as well. They're all coming in. And VK retakes the lead from O'Ward. So Newgarden's given up the advantage. As I said, everybody who stopped on lap 15 now comes in and have resynced themselves into this race. So this was a very timely caution for everyone who pitted on lap 15.
Isaac's saying they won't be able to get to the end of this stop. They're all going to have to pit once more, which I think might be an issue with fuel. Are they allowed to do splash and dashes in IndyCar towards the end of the race if the tyres aren't a concern?
They are. They can. If they pit when them when it's open, they can do what they like. So maybe we could see some splash and dashes, but it would have to be behind caution. If not, you'll lose too much time down the pit lane. Josh Plays said what happened. Callum Ilott tried to make a move up the inside, skipped across the grass and ended up in the gravel backwards, but he's got out of that gravel trap and has rejoined the race. So we haven't actually lost anyone so far, which is great news indeed. As we still circulate here, just trying to get this track map working as well. Not track map, tweet deck open. Literally, you're seeing a total of, I think, 2 tweets at the moment.
It's quite funny as well because I believe, because I picked Callum Ilott as my favourite driver on the IndyCar app, it's he's trying to figure this out. I think it's his telemetry that is you can't see it on the stream, but is at the bottom of my screen.
Oh, is that the telemetry?
See it
Oh
too.
wow, I
That's
can see
his
it,
telemetry. So why it's still working?
Oh,
goodness knows.
you talked about the monetary fine, didn't you? The monetary fine for the 18 of David McCulcus, right? Because that just came up.
Yes.
Oh, good. Because it's catching up, I think, my iPad on the situation. Isaac said, yes, they can do splash and go, but I don't think they can go 56 laps on fuel, not talk of tyres. Interesting to come through. By the way, Isaac, hope you like the tracker that we've got open. Thanks for reminding us of that, actually, because I would have completely forgotten we had the software to do that now that they've made it available. But desperately also need to get that sorted for the next race, which is the Honda Indy Grand Prix. And, of course, for the Indy 500, we'll be live as well. Let's go down to Team Penske's pit wall.
Cindric and Joseph Newgarden. So that's a curveball that you didn't really expect, did you, Tim? So why pit there just to put your driver on the offense here, get new tires on him, and let him come up through the field?
Well, at that point, we were going to have to pit in about 5 laps anyway. So, yeah, for sure, the strategy was working out pretty well. But Yeah, the best strategy is a fast car, and I think we had that. We were clearing traffic. You know, we were going to pit probably 4 or 5 more laps, but we were going to cycle out really well in terms of traffic and all the rest of it, but that's racing.
Yeah, so now the good part is you put your driver on offensive, which I think you just told him, said, hey, go on offense here.
Yeah, we've been offensive since about the 10th lap, but I got to go.
All right, Tim Cindric going to talk to Joseph Newgarden here. Yeah, so Hinch, you made the point. I mean,
yeah, they don't really want to talk to the media when they're trying to win a race here, because that strategy has come at the best possible time. And as you heard Tim Cindric say, they were going to have to stop in 5 laps anyway, so this has helped them big time.
Yep, and a free pit stop is always a handy pit stop. And we're going to green flag on this lap, I am reading. And
yep, that's
is
what I'm saying.
Callum Ilott now out of the race? Because his telemetry is still working on my screen.
It's actually saying he's on wet tyres, so yeah,
Yes.
yeah, so apparently he's on wets. But either way, here we go, green flag back out here in Alabama. First caution down, everyone's now pitted, back up to sync with the rest of us, and it is VK leading the way down to a hill towards turn number 1. Little bit of a move there on the inside. Will Power getting ahead of Takuma Sato. Mclaughlin moves into 15th place as well. And now we get to see, I think that's Simon Pagenaud, who is making a move round the outside of Christian Lundgaard over the top of the brow at the exit of turn 4 down to Spider's Web corner as well. A little bit of a dangerous braking as well. A few lockups. Herta making moves as well, but he's moved up ahead of, I think, Mclaughlin actually. So everyone's getting ahead of Mclaughlin there. Pagenaud is up to 11th. He's past Lundgaard.
And Ilott is actually still in the race. You can see on your timing screen there, the big block that says 77. That is Callum Ilott. So somehow, I didn't realise in IndyCar you're allowed to get pushed by the marshals back onto the circuit, but apparently you are.
Only if you're in a dangerous position, I think.
And, well, we move on, and they roar through this circuit, the fast chicane. And Colton Herta trying to make moves forward. That's really his only chance of winning this race, particularly getting past Dalton Keller, which he's trying to do now down the inside. He forces him out wide, actually, but in IndyCar, I don't think there's any issue with that whatsoever. And Colton Herta is through in the end as they head back down into turn 1 for the 38th time now in this race. And there's a bit more of a Constantina. I think it's Scott Dixon, Graham Rahal, and they're all trying. In fact, no, it's not. It's Malukas, Newgarden, and Grosjean all trying to get in on the action. On the television, we're on board with Roman Grosjean. Of course, you can't see it, but now that move down the inside from someone.
Sato passing Pagenaud. Oh, yeah, as Power passes Rahal, Sato's passed Pagenaud, and the two McLarens racing together. Is O'Ward dropped back? Because that is the two. It's Dixon. It's Dixon and Rosenquist. We need better camera angles here today, guys, at NBC, because we are barely seeing things here that we can make sense of. The cars aren't in focus. It seems everything's out of sync as well. That's, again, the 29 of Devlin DiFrancesco with a shaky rear, trying to hold back the 26 of Colton Herta. Herta, though, breezes around the outside, and this time, unlike what we saw at Texas Motor Speedway, doesn't get clipped into the wall.
Up into 13th, Colton Herta, and he's driving very, very well. And the amount of TV coverage he's getting, I have a slight feeling he's America's golden boy at the moment. Christian Lundgaard is next, 9/10 of a second. He hasn't got a great deal of push to pass left. However, if I can get my words out, 81 seconds of it, Colton Herta.
Look at Jimmy Johnson, though. 46 seconds left. He's really blown through it all at the moment. 115 seconds used. Is that the inside? That's Dalton Kellett trying to make a move on Devlin DiFrancesco at Spider's Web, the hairpin corner, down at turns 5 and 6, and he's made it through. Nicely done as well from Dalton Kellett as well. Now, VK's pulled out a further 1.4 second gap to O'Ward. Remember, that safety car allowed everyone who pitted on lap 15 to come in, change tyres, refuel. So this is now a proper race with everybody on the same strategy. Make it to lap 60, then pit again to go for a last 30-lap shootout. But as Synthel reminds us, yellows breed yellows, and that often comes into position here. Tatiana Calder on a 1:10.697. She's running round about 7/10 slower than VK is at the moment. So on those tyres, not improving a little bit more than I thought she would have.
For those interested, Calderon and Ilott are both lapped now. Ilott is 2 laps down on the race lead, so he's going to need 2 safety cars, isn't he, to get that back up. And I don't think they do wave rounds either, do they? It's just has to literally muscle his way through the field. So he's going to have to quite literally pass the entire field 3 times if he wants to win this race. So I don't think that's going to happen for the rookie. However, Dalton Kellett is up on Newgarden, and I think actually that was something happening with Devin DiFrancesco, who has also been passed by Newgarden. And looking further forward, Herta hasn't used any more push to pass. However, it is 2/10 of a second. Felix Rosenqvist has lost a position to Alex Palou in the meantime.
So that's even worse then. So Palou's gone up the inside as well. And I'm just trying to keep an eye out on the timing screen as well, because I'm trying to see the gaps to see if there does have to be a pit stop around about lap 90.
There's
Who's
wrong
going to
with
make it? Yeah.
DiFrancesco. I'm almost certain of it.
Devlin DiFrancesco. Yeah, look at that. He's dropped back on the timing screens as well. Wow.
He's fallen about 4 positions, and he's being passed 2 at a time. So I think there's an issue with his car, the number 29. It's the Honda. I think it might be a power unit issue. It's very hot and sticky in Alabama, I imagine. And the power unit's probably not really enjoying it. And here we go. Rosenqvist is under pressure, and then down the inside, he gets overtaken in the end. And I'm trying to figure out who made that move. It was Scott Dixon on Felix Rosenqvist.
Good stuff then. Right now in this race, a lot of action on lap 40 of 90. Got 50 laps to go here today as well. Hold your breath, everybody. We're nearly at half distance, and it's been a quite chaotic half distance, full of technical difficulties. Maybe they should upgrade the facilities here before IndyCar come back again, because there's a problem every single year trying to do this. Whoa, that's Jimmy Johnson getting tagged by Helio Castroneves. So Castroneves a bit of hot on the brakes, and the 2 legends, one from NASCAR, one from IndyCar, come together, and that was no fault of Johnson's to go into a spin. He got Castroneves.
Yep. And Helio Castroneves has had an absolutely stellar couple of years, hasn't he? In the space over the last 18 months, 2 Daytona 24-hour overall wins, and of course an Indy 500 to boot as well. So he's not going anywhere. And well, he is about 703 now, Castroneves, but still not thinking about retirement.
Herta diving up the inside of Lundgaard, making the move for the back. That's Newgarden forcing his way literally past Dalton Kellett. Here comes Grosjean. I think Kellett's now got a bit of problem. I saw some winglets dropped off. Newgarden was too slow there as well to try and capitalise on that. Grosjean's going for it again, trying to make the move. Can't do it. Newgarden has the position and moves up into 14. No, yeah. Yes, 14th, because the timing screens keep changing to show 16 to 20 and then 21 to 26, and it's really confusing. VK says, 2 laps longer than everybody else in clean air if you maintain the fuel as it is now.
Yes, and half distance in this race, so at least one more stop we expect. And, well, the majority of the field on the black wall tyres. Scott Dixon is on the alternate red wall tyre. Colton Herta has actually got past Takuma Sato now. Joseph Newgarden and Roman Grosjean are also moving up the field. They've both got past Dalton Kellett. As for Devlin DiFrancesco, who we said was having an issue, he seems to be okay now. He's lapping in the 109s still, so he might be a little bit slow, but he's not markedly slow, we can put it that way. And well, Rena's VK also in the 109s. So Dalton Kellett really not that concerning from him. And actually, another statistic we have is the amount of passes that have been made. I can tell you that currently Colton Herta is leading the way. 12 passes in this race already, Colton Herta.
Wow, that's insane. 12 overtakes in this one race alone, as well as into the pit lane comes Dalton Kellett. I knew there was something wrong. I knew it. Dalton comes into the pits with a problem. I thought there might be some problem, and that contact with the back of Newgarden didn't really pay off. And Isaac says as well, yeah, Newgarden is definitely not trying to save fuel, so they will be pitting him again. So he's going to do a 3-stop strategy as predicted. It's just helped him a little bit. This is Alexander Rossi in practice 2 here at Barber Motorsport Park. Into the wall and flung off part of the rear wing into the path of Helio Castroneves. And both of them out of practice 2 as well. Just broke the front wing and broke the front suspension as well. And for Alexander Rossi to be running 4th right now, Tom, is all but a miracle.
and well, he's driving very well. And I remember at the start of 2021, he said, and I quote, "Nothing but a championship will suffice." And he had a bit of egg on his face after the first round, around here actually, where he crashed out before turn one, and then went on to mount a championship challenge that was about as good as my IndyCar championship challenge last year, and not very good at all. And it's good to see him back in fourth, Alexander Rossi, and well, he has won the Indy 500 a couple of times, hasn't he, Alexander Rossi, I believe?
2016, the rookie winner on the 100th race of the 500. He did a fantastic fuel save and literally coasted to the line and was about 13 seconds ahead of everybody else because everyone had to dive into the pit lane. It was one of the most remarkable race wins I've ever seen. An American driver winning the Indianapolis 500 on his first attempt. It was an absolute fairy tale for IndyCar for that to happen. The 100th event being won by an American driver who'd raced in Formula 1 as well. So how like the original.
He should have won 2019 as well.
He should have won 2019, absolutely. That was a joke that it ended that way. But also, just like to point out, do you remember the 2020 race that was run with no spectators under COVID? That was a weird one. I've never seen such a more weird race in my life. 0 fans in the grandstand. Even last year, it was only at 10% capacity. And this year, though, I am so looking forward to it. The month of May starts right here as well because we're going to have brilliant Indy 500 coverage coming up as well for the main race on the 29th. At the end of the month, but they've got to do all the practice sessions as well, all the testing. We're going to be doing shows on that as well, with looking at highlights of the practice, reports, talking with people over in America as well, trackside coverage as well. I think some of these people are going, so it's going to be all over as Herter makes a move on the inside of Pagenaud down at Spider's Web at turn 6. He really forced Pagenaud to the wide outside line, and the young gun Colton Herter has got a link to Formula 1, is making moves in IndyCar here at Barber.
And, well, link to Formula 1 is an understatement. If there's a Formula 1 seat going, the Americans will find a way to link Colton Herter to it. But through on Simon Pagenaud now, of course, who did win that 2019 Indy 500 race. And Colton Herter into 10th position, so he's bang on pretty much where he started and really needs to make some moves forward in this race. Back on sequence, which is crucial. 5/10 to Graham Rahal, but now only 55 seconds of push to Pagenaud. That's going to annoy me.
Take it, yeah. Push to pass. Just call it P2P. Everyone knows what it means as we come through. Yeah, look at this. And Herter closing up on the gap now. Rahal is just 4 tenths behind, but Rahal's being held up by Rosenquist in the McLaren. So that's not working well. Let's jump on board with the AutoNation car. No idea who we're on board with because NBC's graphics are terrible. And they're not like Formula 1 or MotoGP, are they, where they tell you who we're riding on board with. They really do make you suffer with trying to work out who's who and where's where. Anyway, we're on board with the AutoNation DHL-sponsored cars as well, so presumably this is with Romain Grosjean, because he's the DHL driver. Now we're with Palou in the number 10, last year's champions. That was Grosjean in 15th place. Of course, this is the first race in a long time not to have the DHL livery. Romain Grosjean ran it for the first 4 races, but now, even though he's still a DHL driver with Andretti, he has a new sponsorship for this weekend as well, as I said. And let's go down to pit road as well, because there's a steering wheel check.
Backup steering wheel, and there is a lot going on here, certainly, and this is what they have to deal with every day. So, Hinch and Townsend, you can talk about this as well. I'll walk you through the basics of the buttons. The neutral button, the reset for the fuel number once he makes a pit stop. His drink, which will feed it directly into his mouth. Reverse, pit speed is right here. These are all fuel maps, so they may say orange 2, he goes to that number, or blue 4, he'll go to that number, and they are not all used every weekend, so they'll use different ones on different weeks. Then you have to flip it over. This is push to talk back here, and this is overtake back here, and then the clutch and the up and down on the gears as well. So pretty complicated looking steering wheel, Hinch, but I know you guys use most everything on here. And then when it lights up, there's tons of information on this screen for you guys to read.
Typical NBC, always showing us something we don't really need to see in the middle of a race. I thought that was going to be information that Palou had a steering wheel issue. That's what I thought.
And
It was gonna
I
be.
swear I've seen that same bit as Herta got passed by Rahal.
Yeah.
Although he got past
Oh,
Rosenquist in the end. We saw that move now, actually, down the inside. And Colton Herta made that move pretty... Oh, it was a pretty textbook move, really.
yeah, down the inside
that
at
was down the
10-16.
final corner. And
Nice.
now he can focus on Graham Rahal, who's a little bit ahead of him, 1.2 seconds on a charge, Carlton Herta. But I swear I've seen that same bit at different races about the steering wheel about 8 times now in the last year. And NBC really do love to basically run a podcast that's supposed to be a racing commentary.
It's about an 82 to finish right now.
82 to...
Teammates are getting like 100.
Oh, so that we were listening to we were listening to New Garden's radio, so he's not going to make it to the end. The other Penske's are running 100 litres of fuel to the end of the race. Everyone else is running 8, and New Garden's running 82, so he's really in trouble. That is Romain Grosjean side by side. As well, and Grosjean through the gravel.
Dear.
Grosjean through, and that was lucky not to cause a caution. He was having a battle with Joseph Newgarden, and that's mucky. As we go look to a replay of Grosjean there, he's got caught now by Ericsson.
Looks a little bit like Petrov at Malaysia
Yeah.
one year. I think it was at Malaysia.
When he bounced up on the
Lotus.
wall, yeah.
Yes, Flying Lotus. And we're now watching a replay on board of that. The 8th replay of the same incident. You do love American telly. And Grosjean just got forced outright, really, and was forced to take the grass.
Come back in ESPN, all is forgiven. As well as they come through. VK then leads 1.8 seconds to O'Ward as well. I must admit, I think I've seen it more today than I ever have. The American broadcast could do with a change. Just diving up the inside as well. That is, I believe, Simon Pagenaud taking a move on Rosenquist for 10th. Yeah, it is. So they definitely did graphics change because we had no clue who was going there and who was making an overtake. This is basically like watching a 1990s Formula One race with a 2006 graphic on it. That's what we're watching. It's very hard to tell who's who still. We need mini cars on graphics at the bottom with the name of each driver and who's overtaking who. I never thought I'd say this, but more graphics, please.
It's the entire broadcast that needs a change up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because if you look at IMSA as well, they have the same broadcast package, and that's today, actually. It's an IMSA.
Yes, IMSA today, yeah. As far as I know, yeah.
When does that start? Because I'd quite like to watch that.
Straight after this, I believe, because isn't it the same track?
No, it's Laguna Seca.
Ah, right, okay. Usually it runs parallel with IndyCar at some events as well. But yeah, Isaac says as well, I'm going to try and pronounce your first name, but I don't want to butcher it. Is it Azar? Let us know if I got that one right, but because I don't want to butcher names.
I'm led to believe it's already happened.
Oh, oh, what a race at IMSA.
That's frustrating.
New Garden is definitely, yeah. Isaac says, can't wait for the Indy road course. Probably one of the more exciting road courses of the calendar. I think you're right there. I like the ovals. They're very rare now. We get ovals. They're always exciting to watch. Over to you, Tom.
Yes. So.
Sorry. I thought you were going to say something.
I was. Yes. Back to the IMSA thing with the broadcast.
Yeah.
When they were doing the 24 hours, it was hilarious to see the Radio Le Mans commentary versus the American commentary of the same thing, the dramatic final lap, and it was absolutely hilarious.
I know NBC didn't really go mad. The Le Mans Haggerty Radio did go mad.
It was the other way around, actually.
Oh, was it the other way around?
Le Mans Radio were talking like it, with Jeremy Shaw talking like it was another day at the office, and then Lee Diffie was absolutely losing his mind.
I was
it was hilarious. Focus on the IndyCar then.
Yeah, I was on USRN, and we were giving it plenty as well when that happened as well, going to the line. So that's a pour from Haggerty there. Usually they're good at that, but they had been up for 24 hours, I suppose. Then again, so was I, so I'll get that advantage. Don't remind me that Le Mans is next month, the 24 hours of Le Mans. God knows what we're doing there.
I can't wait.
I don't know what we're doing there. The plan is to do the whole 24 hours, but we've got loads of other series on the same weekend, so we're currently desperately trying to find out. There's no way I can do all the series, so somebody's going to have to deputise.
I'm pretty sure I have a GCC exam on the Monday, but I don't really care. We'll be watching Le Mans regardless. And, do the all-nighter for it, that's for certain.
Oh, but, definitely. That's my favourite part, the all-nighter. It's the witching hour racing that I love. And then
yes, but
We're back.
Still got a race
racing,
here
yeah.
at Alabama, would you believe it? And though not much is happening right now, as I'm looking at the timing screen, and there's not a lot to report on. Pagano was fastest, personal best at least. So was Graham Rahal on the previous lap, and Colton Herta is really in trouble with his push to pass. Yeah. He's on 45 seconds. That is by far the lowest in the field. In fact, no, it's not Jimmy Johnson, but it's by far the lowest of the competitive people in the field. That's for certain.
Definitely.
And,
the question is, though, why on earth are we even racing here? That's what I want to know is. It's my surname, so no need to bother, but it's pronounced Azari. Oh, and I prefer the ovals too. Oh, okay, Azari. Thank you for that. I always like to ask confirmation, so I don't make a fool of myself. But so it's Isaac first. Okay, I get it right. So yeah, whichever name you prefer, we'll call you as well to come through. As Patswell
It starts in
Wars.
40 minutes, Imsa.
Oh, does it? We haven't missed it. Oh, great. So it is at the end of this one, yeah. We should be finished by then. If not side by side.
I hope we'll be finished by then, because I want to watch it.
Yeah, if not side by side, because otherwise this race is a bit dull at the moment. I've never... Usually IndyCar here is exciting. It's gone a bit boring, actually. We were promised a wet race, and we've been disappointed.
My unpopular opinion is that we should go back to Pocono. I only got to watch one race. 2019 was when I started watching IndyCar, and I only got to watch one race at Pocono, and I absolutely loved Pocono. Such a good circuit. I know there's plenty of drivers who would probably disagree with me, but as a spectator, I love Pocono.
The drivers do love Pocono. It's just the barriers and the high-speed turn 3 they don't like. Other than that, they love it. That's for sure.
Well, Robert Wickens doesn't like Pocono. I know that much.
No, he doesn't. No, he does not. And let me tell you something as well. I've mentioned this story before, but never to you, Tom. I was at Silverstone for the 6 hours in 2018 on the day he crashed. I wasn't commentating on IndyCar at that time, and I was live in the paddock. And literally, because so many of the IndyCar drivers race in WEC as well. Say again?
I think you have told me this story once.
Oh, have I? Oh,
you
yeah,
said, a lot of the drivers have obviously did junior formula with him, and you said you were interviewing them, and they were all a little bit concerned. They were all really concerned. They all went. The entire paddock went quiet as well. So I knew something was wrong, and didn't know until we came off air, and I got a phone call saying there's been a massive accident in the IndyCar race, and the barrier's destroyed, and the driver's really injured. I said, who is it? He said, it's Robert Wickens. And they went, oh, of course it is. Because that explains why the entire paddock was running up and down as well. And Tony Kanaan, I think, was there that day. I can't remember if not. I heard he was watching as well. But people like Kamui Kobayashi and Mike Conway, especially Mike Conway, explained his mood because he was really depressed as well when I was speaking to him. But he was very kind to give me an interview with Mike Conway, even though he just had that news. So always praise him. It wasn't me you told this story to, but it was Suzuka 12 Hours last year.
Right.
You told it to Ed, and I was watching the stream.
That's where I had it. That's where I had it. I thought so, yeah. I know I've told this story before, yeah, with it as well. But Pocono is a fantastic racetrack. And Isaac says, IndyCar at the bigger ovals are exciting but scary to watch. It's fun. Yeah, exactly. And they should be scary. That's the point. Oval racing is dangerous as well, and that's where the real skill comes in. But we shouldn't have those silly crashes. If they modified Pocono, not losing the essence of it, but if they put some more safer barriers in, they improve the catch fencing, they even resurface it and just lessen the banking degree, I think we could have some really great races there because it was pack racing. What's the one, do you remember where Rahal dug into the ground and flipped over? I can't remember that track name, but I really loved it. I loved that track. That was pack racing at its finest. I was up all night watching that one. There's finally some moves.
We've actually finally got a move. It's Grosjean.
And he's got through a Newgarden down at Spider's Web. And he's forced him out. A move. Can you believe it? And he's just come over the...
Only took 10 laps.
Yeah, not too bad then. Newgarden just came over the radio and says as well that, don't worry, nice job what he's doing, but Grosjean's gone through and moves up into 14th. He didn't give me room, he's just said over the radio, so...
Stay attached to those guys. Stay attached to those guys.
This is IndyCar. Room is very much premium. But lap 56 of 90.
43 to go.
35 laps remaining.
35? Oh, you're right.
That's what
Oh,
it
my
says
timing
before.
screen's dead. Oh.
Yes.
I've been staring at my... Well, the clock's been going up on one of them, but the other one's got the correct one with 35 to go. But my other screen is showing 43 laps to go, and it's showing me the complete wrong information. I've been wondering why it's been stalling the past couple of minutes. I thought, is it really 43 to go? But because my maths wasn't adding up. No, we've got, as you say, 35 laps to go.
Oh, there's another move. It's Grosjean once more down the inside, and he's going to make the move on Christian Lundgaard this time, and he makes it pretty safely. There was a hint of a switchback from Christian Lundgaard, but it wasn't going to be. So Roman Grosjean up into 13th. Takuma Sato he now has to set his sights on.
These two have beef as well.
Ex-Formula 1 driver. And O'Ward, McLaughlin and Pelot all improved on the previous lap. And we'll have to wait to see what that actually means.
149 on the board. So 109.503 for Pelou is the fastest lap he's just said as well out there. As the timing screen that I use, that because I'm blind as a bat, needed zoomed in, has stopped. So I'm really struggling to see the times at the moment. So I'm going to refresh the page and hopefully get it back. So stay with us out here at the moment. And I now know what's caused the problem as well. So I'll fix that issue coming through.
Fuel's going to help us if we...
As for those interested, I take it back. According to RadioLeMans.co, IMSA starts at 8. And they are the best, Radio Le Mans.
They really are.
And Radio IMSA, it's all the same company. And it does slightly annoy me that they call it IMSA Radio, but Radio Le Mans. It's the other way around. And it slightly annoys me. But they're very good. Yeah. And
I would love it if we could broadcast with them at once. That would be fantastic. As they come through.
Yes, they are very, very good. And
they won't have these issues.
24-hour series. And it's all for free as well. I have no idea how they make money, but they do somehow.
I know, all for free, and they do all the television companies as well. It is an amazing company. Well, then again, we do it like that as well.
I wonder if they get paid to broadcast the races. And that's how they make their money.
Ah, good point. Probably so. They get paid to go to the track because, and do all that. So they broadcast it for free, but they get paid to do it. That would make more sense because otherwise I wouldn't go and do it, really. There's going to be no motivation to spend your own money to go on a plane as well, especially if you don't have it. As this is, again, Grosjean late on the brakes.
On Rosenquist.
Yes, he's got it.
And he's up into 11th.
I'm now a massive Roman Grosjean fan because he's the only person making overtakes in this entire race so far. So well done, Roman Grosjean. I raise my mug to you.
Even Herta slowed down. Now he's obviously been listening to my commentary, realised he's got no push to pass left, and I finally nailed that. And, well, he's got 45 seconds, but no push to pass, really. And, in fact, Newgarden is really struggling on his push to pass. He's got 33 seconds left.
Can't even see.
And Jimmy Johnson's got 16 seconds left.
Yeah, Johnson's out of it then as well. 33 for Newgarden, as you say. 45 for Herta. And they're really struggling now. So Newgarden's bad on fuel as well. He does need to stop again. By the way, everyone, congratulate yourself if you made it this far, because you know what it is? We have made it to lap 60. Now, this is where the final pit stops should come in, which means we're going to have some action down on pit road. After a pretty formation, 28 laps since the caution as well, we're going to get some go action finally. This has not been the best race, I think, to have you on, Tom, so I'm going to have to drag you back at some point in the year for an exciting one, I think. Where are we next?
It's been a bit... The last couple of IndyCar races actually been a little bit dry. It was Long Beach last, wasn't it? And that was a little bit... a little bit boring.
Yeah, Long Beach. I nearly fell asleep at Long Beach, to be fair.
I rarely stop watching races. However, that was where I literally turned it off. Because I had an F1 commentary I do every Sunday. And it starts quite late, so I thought I'll just go set that up and I'll stop watching Long Beach.
Didn't miss anything. The last lap was exciting, but nothing really happened. Grosjean was the biggest excitement there, as he is now, actually. In fact, I might owe Grosjean some money because he has been giving us some fantastic racing. There's Chip Ganassi watching on. And is that... Hang on a minute. Is that Roger Penske with a Chip Ganassi hat on? Was that Roger Penske in the Chip Ganassi garage?
I don't know. I do know that NBC are now showing us some bit about well, I don't really know or care, but they seem to be intent on showing it regardless. And back to the racing finally.
I'm being told it is the Racing for Children's. That's the charity that sponsored this race. That's what I'm being told. Is what that little feature was about. Right, pit stop time. Alexander Rossi is going to dive down pit road. He's got 166 seconds left of push to pass. So he's back on it, and Rahal pits, Pagenaud pits, and Rosenquist pits. So finally, this is the action we've been waiting for.
And you think they could have chosen a better time to put a Racing for Children advert on? And no offence to any charities, but during a race, I really do not want to be shown that when there's so much going on at a critical time in the race.
Don't think anybody was looking at I think everyone was looking down at the bottom right corner on the rest of the race. Right, here we go then. Although, fair to NBC, it was the boring part of the race.
Go hard here for probably about 2 more laps.
Right, that's Newgarden. He's going to go 2 more laps. Long fuel stop for Rossi as well. He's put on another set of the black primaries. Rahal was going to the red alternate tyre. Don't know what Rosenquist got onto yet. Lungard's in the pit lane, as is Devlin Di Francesco, as is Jack Harvey. They're all coming in now as well. We'll get told their tyres in a few moments. And now here comes the race leaders. VK and O'Ward are going to dive down pit road with 29 laps at the end of this one to go. And Mclaughlin in 2, so's Will Power. Alex Palou takes the lead of the Grand Prix of Alabama. And there you go, look, going through. There's Palou, and here's everyone else diving down pit road. The question is now, Tom, is this going to be the splash and dash to the end? Can they make it another 29 laps? They've done 20. They've actually done 30 on this run just now.
The question is, has anyone completely fueled up to the end and doesn't need to make another pit stop? It's unlikely.
Yeah.
However, judging by Colton Herter's form this afternoon, perhaps that's something that they've tried. But 16 passes he's up to now. Romain Grosjean's made 15 himself. So those two having a bit of a battle for supremacy in their own rights. Will Power also into the pits, back onto the red wool tyres as they roar out. And there's a McLaren having a bit of a battle. It's
VK. It's O'Ward. O'Ward and VK, yeah. So, Power and VK batting each other as well. Now we're going to see as O'Ward tries to go right round the outside as well, late on the break.
It's O'Ward.
The Mexican takes the net lead of the race. As into the pit lane comes Dixon, Herter and Grosjean. And right round the outside. Now, O'Ward got held in the pit stop a bit too late because VK got through. So that was a great opportunistic move from the Mexican. He takes the net lead race of the Grand Prix of Alabama. Now Dixon, Herter and Grosjean and Newgarden coming into the pit lane as well. And Daly. So they're all diving down pit road.
Yep. And
just being told that Palou, he has been told to pit, but he hasn't come in yet. So look, there's number 10, look, for Alex Palou. He's been told to pit. The mechanics are ready, but he hasn't come in.
It might be a radio issue.
Oh.
He might have a radio issue, Alex Palou.
So if he stops, if he loses fuel and stops, he's out of it. That's Herter. Black. Is that a red set of tyres or black? Can't quite tell at the moment. That's Dixon coming out side by side.
Red for Palou.
With Mclaughlin. Oh, they hit. Mclaughlin touched the back of Dixon, and now they're still side by side down towards Spider's Web. Mclaughlin round the outside line. Dixon on fresh tyres, not to temperature. Can't keep up. And Mclaughlin goes ahead. Palou's come into the pits.
Good move from McLaughlin there. And as I said, he's been driving so well this season. And I'm going to get
he's in the gravel! McLaughlin's in the gravel! Sorry to cut across your top. McLaughlin's in the gravel! He's gone straight 2 forward! He's missed on time and Dixon's back through! Dixon goes back through and here comes is that Cashin Evers? Or is that... it is Cashin Evers! Cashin Evers coming back through as Ericsson takes the lead. He's coming now, I think. Well, I think he has. Yes, there he is.
Now, finally.
That was a long time.
Alex Palou eventually comes into the pits and snubbed off his engineer for long enough. And I think there'll be a stern word later that we can just blame the radio and no one really going to care. It's Alabama. They don't really have the way to check. But it is going to be Pato O'Ward through into the lead of the race. And VK actually, for the first time, has on pit stop strategy, is not leading this race. Marcus Ericsson is into second as well, and I have a feeling that might be the timing tower not working.
Yeah,
correctly.
it hasn't updated to the mini sectors yet. According to what I'm looking at, Ericsson leads, O'Ward, Palou, VK, Dixon, the top 5, McLaughlin, Power, Rossi, Rahal, Herter, the top 10 at the moment. So Marcus Ericsson's come into the pit lane anyway now, so that's not going to update just yet. So the race leader is Ericsson. He's coming down pit road now as well to try and have the next battle out there. Palou already came in, so it is Pato O'Ward, the race leader. Palou is second, VK third, and VK couldn't get ahead of Palou, so Palou switched those tyres on immediately and got up to speed.
11 car again.
And who hit the 11
yes.
car? Someone hit Tatiana Coulter.
If I'm not mistaken, there's no tyre blankets in IndyCar. They have to get the tyres up to temperature as quickly as they can. So it's quite impressive to be able to come out of the gates roaring immediately. And, well, now Pato O'Ward leads from Palou, from VK. And VK would be so disappointed that after all of that, he still doesn't win the race. And that's just the unpredictable variability of IndyCar, really. You can lead a race, and all of a sudden, no one quite knows how you've managed to end up in third, but it happens anyway. And VK's got a little bit of work to do now.
Jimmy Johnson comes into the pit lane. Yeah, tweet deck has frozen, by the way. Can't do anything about it at the moment because I'll lose the timing page. So Isaac has also said that racing on quite a lot of these IndyCar road courses is quite similar to racing at Monaco in F1. Qualifying is fun to watch, but the races are just dry. You're right. The pit stop's the only fun bit.
We're out of fuel.
And he also says that they could probably make it to the end from here if they filled their tanks enough. Who are we listening to on the radio? It's Joseph Newgarden, who is being told he's out of fuel. So that we knew they were going 2 laps longer, and he's out of fuel. So he's going to have to pit. But luckily, he's back in the main pit stop window. He has literally taken that to the extreme there. As that is... Who's that going wide? Is that McLaughlin again going wide? Because now he's side by side with one of the... serious F1 cars. So McLaughlin making a second mistake. So yeah, McLaughlin making a second mistake there.
Herter's now involved.
Battle on the inside. Dixon trying to make a move, and now further back as well. Rahal up the inside of Rossi and making the move for 7th position. Power further back. Herter's coming through now as well. So Herter P9 trying to look on the outside line coming into turn 7 and 8. Downhill in a mini corkscrew section like we see at Laguna Seca. And Herter's all over the back of Rossi for P9. P8 I should say actually. Because they've all moved up the order. I keep forgetting about that. As the timing screens updates.
You won't feel like it's good enough, Carlton Herter, after having Long Beach taken away from him and, well, being down in 9th is something that will be greatly frustrating. However, it's all about just getting points to the board. Now he's going to try and have a little bit of a look for a move down the inside into one of the right-handers, and there wasn't quite the space there. Pagenaud saw it coming and, well, into turn 1 now. This is perhaps going to be an audacious dive bomb from Carlton Herter. You could almost feel like he was thinking about that, but he eventually decides against it. And now, in fact, there's a move further forward. It's Rossi on Rahal, and he just about squirms across the racetrack and just about thinks against the move. And now Herter dropping back a little bit, and there's the move from Rossi down the inside on Rahal, and Pagenaud is actually going to follow him through, and Colton Herter's going to follow him through now. So it's going to be a triple overtake, and Colton Herter, is he going to get past Rossi as well? Pagenaud even. I think he's not quite going to actually in the end.
Yeah. Herter can't find a way through on Pagenaud, on Rossi goes through on the outside line. This time Rossi's on the inside, and that's a great move from Herter right round the outside. How's about that for a sweet move? Brilliantly done. And honestly, Colton Herter, I think now has jumped up into about 7th position maybe after that one. We'll wait for the timing screens to update if they can. 20 laps left. It is 7th, yeah. So 20 laps left then, according to this monitor, because my 23 laps apparently. I don't think that's IndyCar telling me, so I don't know anything that's working correctly. Yeah.
It's 90, so about 70, about 23 laps left. 23. I don't know. It's been a bit of a farce when it comes to broadcasting quality from IndyCar.
Yeah, we don't know where we are.
perhaps Windows 98 isn't the best operating system to run a racetrack on. And down the inside, there was the number 12 car who was that. There was Will Power, makes a move on Graham Rahal, and now Rahal goes to sort of lightly try and get the move back. Not going to be, is it? It was on McLaughlin, I apologise, as I could have sworn.
Power passing McLaughlin, yeah.
I could have sworn it just said Rahal on the timing screen.
It did say Rahal. You're not wrong. The timing screen's got it wrong again. So we're being told it's one car when it's the other, and the cars look incredibly similar, so it's quite hard to tell who's who. As well as, I don't know why that timing screen keeps freezing. We keep losing Tom. Well, you're back now, though. There you are. We can always hear you, but we just keep losing picture with you for some reason.
It might have something to do with... It looks fine on my... my OB, my
no, I think it's a connection
Discord,
lead.
So I don't know what's going on there.
I think it's a connection lead that we're losing you on. Honestly, I think we're going to redo the software coming into the Indianapolis races, because otherwise we'll not be able to broadcast anything. So that was Power making the move on McLaughlin. 22 laps to go here at the Grand Prix of Alabama in Birmingham, Leeds, Alabama.
That makes plenty of sense.
Well, then again, yeah, it's getting through as we get.
It's not Birmingham though; it's Birmingham in Alabama.
In case you missed it, Josh, I know the tweet deck's frozen. I can't do anything about it to come through at the moment. So I think NBC are going to get a little warning from me and saying that your quality is shocking. Couldn't tell who was who, where was where. Please improve your graphics and remove at least 3 commentators. Because
yes,
yeah, go on.
Yes, we're slightly dubiously commentating over your coverage, NBC. You need to sort it out.
Yeah. As they come through, then being told there's a black and white flag for someone being deployed. Nothing's come up on the race control chat as to who that is on the little messenger. So Josh plays in the pits. Maybe he can tell us who it is. If he's seen anything, he'll be texting us and surely sending it through. But 21 laps to go then. I think everybody is feeling the same as me. If you're still watching, by the way, you have my undying respect for sticking with us in this one, because it hasn't exactly been a thriller, unfortunately, this one. First 2 races of the year were brilliant. Then we went to Long Beach and that bored everybody. And now here today at Barber, it's boring everybody as well. We were promised a wet race. It's turned bone dry. And it was raining an hour before the race, for goodness sake. And the track was absolutely drenched.
I'm sure IMSA at Laguna Seca will be much better, starting at 8 o'clock.
Maybe we should do that instead.
I'm doing Radio IMSA a lot of favours with their advertising here.
You are, yes. Hey, might get us a job.
I'm excited. I'm excited for IMSA is my point. But
NASCAR also underway as well. They'll be racing. Where are they racing today? NASCAR. No idea. It's May Day race, isn't it? Yeah. So I can't remember where they're racing. So I'm sure if Adam's watching, he'll tell us as well.
I'll tell you what I was following for a time, mostly in 2020, because my sleep schedule was atrocious. I mean, it still is, but it was especially so in 2020. The NASCAR iRacing E-Series is probably the best esports series on this planet. It's very entertaining to watch.
Dover, Josh has texted me saying it was there. I was probably downstairs getting cake when you said, okay. So Josh, when I said the tweet deck was frozen. NASCAR at Dover, thank you, Isaac, as well. Yep, so that's where they're racing. NASCAR Esports is actually the best. Oh, I'll have to check this out then. I heard they were doing some races.
Amazing. It's on iRacing, and it's actually incredible. It's a bit off-putting, though, because Williams have got a team in there.
Oh.
And it's very off-putting to see a Williams liveried NASCAR.
I know they've raced at Monza. I saw that one.
No, that wasn't the. It's the Coca-Cola iRacing E-Series.
Oh.
It's they race basically on all of the NASCAR tracks. They have their own playoff system and everything. It's very, very good. And
you'll have to send me the link for that.
Colton Herta is going to try and make a move on McLaughlin, and just has to tuck him behind in the end. That was down at turn 1 as they head through the sweeping double apex of, I think it's 3. I'm learning the track as I go. You'll have to apologise.
3 and 4. Oh, he's done it! Spider's web!
He's done the move!
Oh, he's too far back, surely. He's picked up in the second apex, so McLaughlin's giving plenty of room. They're side by side. Oh, let's go. Oh, yeah, well, McLaughlin held out. Herta backed out of it, but he's right in the toe. Is Herta going to try and move into 8 and 9 down the hill, lay on the brakes through the corkscrew?
Code 80 right now, code 80.
Oh, hang on. Chris Tompkins has had a moment as they come through with that code 80. We just heard New Gardens being told. Code 80, if you don't follow us in esports and in ERC, usually means there's a safety car. But that is not the case, I can tell you right now.
Code 80?
Yeah, there was a code 80. Didn't you hear it?
No, I can't hear the radios. I can hear like a muttering, but I can't
can
actually
you?
make it out. It's
Yeah, Joseph
code 80
Newgarden.
something to do with fuel then.
Yeah, must be, because it literally Newgarden got called code 80. I'm gonna have
Yes,
to.
Code 80 normally, for those who don't know, it's used in.
Guys in
It's
front
not
of you
actually
are
used
struggling
in
on
many
fuel, so
main line
if you
endurance
just save
series, but
behind
in
the 8, they
24
might
hour
come back
series
to
they
you.
use it a lot. Well, they use code 60 depending on the track.
Yeah.
But it basically means you have to slow down to 80 or 60 kilometers per hour. It depends on the track
60, the
and the
27,
series,
and the
and
28.
it's got its benefits and its disadvantages. It's mostly seems a pretty fair way of doing things.
Isaac has agreed with you, saying that the Coca-Cola NASCAR iRacing Series is super exciting. I'm going to have to check this out. As look at Herta. This might be the only excitement we get tonight, as he's right on the back of Scott McLaughlin, and he's just playing with him now like a cat plays with a
Red in
mouse,
front of you. I think they're all used.
waiting to pounce for the kill as they come through.
Scott McLaughlin, very successful driver. However, of course, Australian supercars legend, and I don't know if it's a fact, but I'm certain he's won plenty of Bathurst. He's got 253 supercars wins.
Well, that is insane.
No, 56 wins, 253 races. Oh, sorry, my eyes are playing tricks on me today.
I'm having to wear several pairs of glasses to keep up with it today as well. No worries at all.
I lost my glasses, so I have to kind of squint at my monitor to see things nowadays.
Sato, Di Valenti, Francesco and Pato Award have all just set improvements on their lap time as Herta again trying to go right round the outside of McLaughlin down to turn 8 and 9, the mini section as well on the track, which is like the corkscrew at Laguna Seca, and he's all over the back of him now. So Andretti versus Penske at the moment, McLaughlin versus Herta. And who's going to come out on top, as NBC are actually on an ad break during the most exciting part of the race. 16 laps to go as well. Go on.
Classic Americans, but 2019 Scott McLaughlin won the Bathurst 1000. He got a third in 2018 as well. As we continue on with Colton Herta, those stats would be enough to scare me, that's for certain. And Alexandra Priorat was his co-driver, who's someone I actually haven't heard of before. I'll have to Google him as well. So whilst I'm on a Wikipedia rabbit hole, we continue to figure out what's going on here.
And that's Will Power making a dive bomb on Storm Dixon. At the same time, Herta's gone for a move, locked up,
And
but
then
he's spun
contact.
it!
And he's round!
He's done a complete 360. Colton Herta loses out at least 3 positions. He made contact with McLaughlin. I don't believe it.
This is coming back on track here. He spun out.
That was all down at
You
Spider's Web. And that's Rossi going through. Sorry, Tom.
You could see how annoyed he was there, Colton Herta, almost through the body language, through the helmet. He looked so frustrated. Pato O'Ward still leads the race from Pelot, from VK, who really hasn't put a foot wrong, VK, but he's somehow in third. And now Herta is trying to make a move on Rossi.
Yeah, so
He's
this
down in
is...
10th.
Yeah, that's lost it big time. So here it is again. Talk us through it then, Tom.
So we're going down into the chicane, and it's Herta's fault. He sent a huge dive bomb.
Luckily,
on McLaughlin.
Luckily,
was
McLaughlin
never
hasn't got any damage on that. I thought he might have spun out too, but it was just Herta. And Brian Herta, his father, knows it too. And this is Power passing Dixon at the same point. And did he make that move? Yes, he did. So Power's P4, Dixon's P5 as Herta does a 360 and ruins the grass. Eduardo Freitas would be angry with him as well. Oh, and Rossi's made an error. And now here's Herta again. He just got through Rossi about 20-odd laps ago. He's going to have to do it all over again now on used tyres with 15 laps of this race to go. It's all still there for Herta to play for, but the race win's gone. Pato O'Ward might take a second career win in IndyCar. Maybe third.
The gutty news is that we're going to run into IMSA slightly, but encourage you all to split screen that if you can.
I'll do.
And hurt her now with a bit of a fire in his belly. Was clearly getting frustrated behind McLaughlin and just sent a very audacious dive bomb. It wasn't to be. He got tapped and was round, and now he has got Rossi just ahead of him. And, well, he's trying to get through. I'm not convinced that's Rossi, actually.
We're watching where?
27.
Yeah.
Colton Hurst.
27 is Rossi, yeah.
27 is Rossi. But...
Yeah, they changed the numbers, remember. He used to be 24, didn't he? And they changed the numbers around.
69's our number now, 69.
Are we sure that's Rossi? Is Rossi in a pink car?
Yeah, Rossi's pink car, blue fonts. It is Rossi, 27, definitely.
There we go. I just have learned over the last hour or so not to trust the IndyCar timing tower.
Yeah, I don't trust it either. We like 3 forms of confirmation now before we say it. We require lots of proof of ID, like if you've got a COVID certificate, maybe to race. Pato O'Ward, though, started second, now leading the race. He dropped back to 9th at one point in this race. It will be his 3rd career win. 3rd career win if he takes it up as well. After.
But he's struggling to make the number.
May I just point out who said he was going to win the race at the start of this one, and you all laughed at me.
I am going to bow to your knowledge. In your first IndyCar broadcast, you have seemed to have got it spot on once again, Tom. So it's definitely going to stay there with that as they come through.
He says once again.
Yeah, once again. Well, you got F3 right. No, you got the F2 sprint right with their right winner last time out.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that?
Who won the sprint? Can't remember who won the sprint.
I can't remember.
Too long ago. Too many racing series to cover. You forget them. And then you just pop back in your head every now and then. Will Power, here he is, looked through the field as well. In fact, this is through the field. We can throw it to NBC.
Not test here. They were way behind, Will Power told me on Friday. Power has not finished out of the top 4 this year. Looks like he's going to be in a good spot to do it again, Dylan.
And another big mover, Scott Dixon behind him, started 13th, Rise in 5th. Mike Cole, the strategist, admitted before the race they were going to need some help with some nicely timed yellows and the other drivers to maybe go off strategy, do something different than what they were doing. It's all worked out in their favor so far. They pulled off the overcut at the second round of stops. Dixon is in the mix right now as he rides in 5th, Kevin.
Dylan, Scott Mclaughlin has lost a few spots, but still been hugely impressive. I think some felt he was a little bit overhyped last year, but coming into year number 2 in IndyCar, he has proven why there was so much conversation about the former Supercars champion. He's been the highest qualified Penske car in 3 of the 4 races. Is still in line for his 3rd really strong result this season.
Looks to be as well as we come back to the battle because McLaughlin's under pressure from Grosjean and he's attacking also. Here he goes, look to the outside. That's McLaughlin. Big time pressure now. I don't think that is actually McLaughlin. Who is he fighting? That's McLaughlin in front. And it's Rahal behind him with Grosjean separated. So
Sato's got quite a bit of push to pass behind you.
NBC timing tower is wrong. Right, there's Grosjean. There is Rahal. There's McLaughlin. It sorts itself out. So it's Rahal challenging McLaughlin. NBC have been absolutely shocking today. It's confusing everybody trying to watch this.
It's NBC's fault or IndyCar's fault, though, to be honest with you.
Well, it is NBC's cameras and graphics, I would say. But we've had problems on our timing screens as well.
But if the IndyCar timing screen as well, he's run by NBC. I take it back.
Oh, is it?
You can see on the.
It is.
I can see on the.
Yeah.
If you look on my screen, it says NBC. So I'm assuming
it is all
it's
NBC. Yeah.
Fault.
Oh, so NBC really are dropping the ball.
The timing tower to freeze again. My bad. There you go.
It's all right. So it really is NBC that are causing all the problems today. They've had a power outage as well early on in the race. So it's practically a miracle we're still watching this race at all, actually.
Gamore's money worth. We can say that at least.
Yeah, he's commentating on a lot of the race today. And I want to say congratulations to Tom Gamore, who's getting married next week, as we see a move going on now as McLaughlin defending from Rahal as well. But yeah, good luck, Tom. Have a great marriage as well. You've been living with your lovely partner for the past couple of years as well, and hopefully you have a great day next week as well. And the other Tom's with me now, Tom Dillon, up here in the commentary box to watch this one with the last 11 laps. Look how much as well Rahal's having to fight that car. The old man's still got it, hasn't he? And he's still trying to get 6th position ahead of Scott McLaughlin, but Grosjean's fighting him down.
Yes, and I'm not getting married next week for those curious.
Yes.
It's the other Tom Gamore. But anyway, I do apologise about the cutting out on the stream here. I seem to be going black every now and then, which I don't know how that's happening. It's
so it's
all
my
fine on
cable.
end,
I think it's my cable.
Oh right, there we go.
Well, to be fair, this is the last weekend we're using Virgin TV, and I think it's dying on us because we're switching over to Sky for TV with Sky Q next weekend. So we've actually got a crossover period going on.
That's Sky is a very, very good. I'll say that much.
Oh, I agree.
I'm bored with. Again, I apologise. I'm trying to figure this out. I think it's Graham Rahal trying to make a move on.
It is. It's Rahal, yeah. I'm the commentator.
As someone who,
yeah, and I can't figure out who it is.
As someone who isn't a die-hard IndyCar fan, I watch the races, but I don't really follow it outside of watching the races. It's very difficult to pick up this kind of thing, and it makes it difficult as well for the drive for you to actually watch the race as a kind of casual fan. And I find this in GT World Challenge is the words for this in the Spa 24 Hours.
Yep.
Because they give you virtually no information, and it's so frustrating because you've got a 60-car field, you haven't heard of half the teams. Kind of have to pick up 2 or 3 that you want to follow. And 24-hour series is also pretty bad for it.
And this is I'm feeling the same actually. This is so bad. It's so basic as well. The coverage we've just got a timing tower that half of it is wrong all the time, and that's it. And poor TV direction. Can't tell who's who.
It's going to be a move.
Yeah,
I think it's Grosjean. No, it's Ray.
It's Rahal.
Rahal again.
On Mclaughlin,
and,
yeah.
Quite make it in the end with 5 laps to go. 9 laps to go even. I apologise once again for.
I think we're all ready to get out of here once again. I think IndyCar is one of the most exhausting series to broadcast live. We did them in highlights form last year, and they did quite well. And we're doing them in live, and they're doing right about the same thing. Mclaughlin is a small number 3 on the halo. Josh Plays has said, so that's how we can tell it's Scott McLaughlin. We can't tell who this is though because it's a camera. We need onboard names. As soon as we cut to a camera, we need to know who we're on board with. If MotoGP, Formula 1 could do it, even the British Touring Car Championship, someone by ITV, which has got significantly lesser budget than NBC, they could give us better graphics than this because it's really frustrating.
I'll tell you who's got it bang on in the last couple of years. WEC. They have sorted their graphics package out, and it's now superb.
That is the standard.
It's so easy to follow.
I completely agree with you. That is the standard of television graphics I want to see. Formula One's is getting good, but they're still over there. Dorners are too showy offy and flashy. They need to change, in my opinion, as well. They need to get a bit more simpler. But this is ridiculous. I mean, we're 4 races into this season as well, and I think it's one of the worst TV directions I've seen. It used to be quite easy to follow IndyCar. This year it's been really hard. The cameras have been all over the place. The quality of the production's gone low. I know NBC have lost their main sports channel, but that's affecting the broadcast now because, of course, there's no NBCSN where it was last year because now they're divided across Peacock, USA Network, and NBC Main as well, and it really affects the coverage. The money cut they've had has really affected IndyCar, and there is a rumour that it is going to go back to ESPN next season, and if the quality improves, I'm all for it, as long as we get some good commentators in. Please bring back Alan Bestwick. He was fantastic, if you remember that. Lee
Diffie is good, however, it frustrates me American commentary, I think. And I think there's a distinct difference between American and British commentary. And I think it's difficult for us to adjust as British. So here's the move then from Rahal on Scott McLaughlin around the outside, I think.
No, it hasn't worked out. McLaughlin got the legs on him as well. He got a bad exit, Scott McLaughlin. That enabled Rahal to look up the inside, but it just didn't work out. So the outside, sorry. And now this is going to bring Grosjean back into the fight. But it's too late. It's just too late. As bad as Monaco? Question mark. Lol. I think this is actually worse than Monaco. In the Formula E race, because of their graphics pack, I could actually tell who was where. But this one here today, it's been shocking. We've covered 3 series this weekend, and they've all had pretty poor TV direction. And I've had to be on the balls of my feet the entire time. But I think this is the worst of the bunch. This is worse than Monaco TV direction. We all know how bad that is. So you can understand, for those of you watching along with us as well, how bad this NBC broadcast is. I mean, for instance, right now, if you're watching on with us, we haven't even got a timing tower. There's literally just a blank screen. There we go.
I thought it was because they were in break for a second.
No,
but that also confuses me, because I thought the whole point of Peacock was that it was uninterrupted coverage.
Yeah, they've been commentating for the past 2-3 minutes. I've been hearing them in my ear. So they've been there. We just haven't seen the TV coverage. And we've been relying solely on the timing screens that are a bit glitchy. It's a mess. I think Fox as well, Fox Sports, for their NASCAR coverage, I had a lot of criticism this year. I'm going to talk with the Grid Network after this. Join us for the wrap-up show later. I'm going to talk with them to see what NBC's coverage is like, because this has been shocking. Very hard to follow again. As we're on board with... Look, this is it. How hard is it to do this? Look. Finally.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a little driver box up with Pato Award. And it annoys me that it also gets rid of half the timing tower. It's very frustrating. And
move that to the right-hand side and you're in for a winner. Move that little box to the right-hand side when we're on board with cars. Mwah, winner. Or use the halo on the yellow screen.
I just don't think I'm a fan of American commentary as it is. I find it, particularly IndyCar, very podcasty. I quite like a good British commentary. I think is a lot better.
Talking about the action, not our feelings of past races at this circuit. That's bang on, yeah.
Although in fairness, that has been what we've been doing for the last...
Well, only when there's nothing going on and we're having to fill time. Yeah. If we have to fill time, if there's something going on, we stop at what we're talking about.
At least we haven't been talking about steering wheels and racing for kids' charities that no one actually cares about.
Yeah, be brutally honest here. Yeah, this is it. We're here to do motor racing. We need to focus on motor racing, and NBC haven't really got that today.
No disrespect to racing for kids. I'm sure you do a very, very good job. However, I think it's fair to say when there's a race on, I don't really care.
To be fair, that's the first time I've heard of them, and apparently they're a global brand. I've never heard of racing for kids before. Then again, we never heard.
Good job. A global brand.
Yeah. Also, this race is presented by AM First as well. So
interesting.
Yeah,
I know who they are.
Yes. Yeah. Interesting as well. To start off this one, and that Grosjean trying to dive bomb, and he's hit the side of Rahal, and he's done it again. Rahal nudges the side of Grosjean's front wheel twice. So that was Grosjean trying to go through and it gets nudged once, then nudged again. So Rahal really isn't. He's really going to get the elbows out. Poor Roman there. He did it on purpose. He heard Grosjean's just said over the radio. Wow.
Well, going back to his Haas days, complaining over the radio, Roman Grosjean. 3 laps to go. O'Ward leads from Palou from VK. And I have to feel for Arenas VK today. He hasn't done much wrong. However, it's just not. He's just fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, it's been unfortunate.
Really figure out why.
It's going to be Pato O'Ward, though, with he got the tyres up to temperature quicker and did a lovely lunge up the inside at Spider's Web, and he's taken it through. If you wonder why we call it Spider's Web, because we haven't actually seen it this year, which is weird, because we usually do at some point. It's the large metal spider that is now rusted brown to make it look like a spider. That's on the exit of this corner as well, and that's why turn 6 and 7, the hairpin is called Spider's Web. It's our thumbnail on this video.
Significance behind that?
No, it's an artwork project that got left there a couple of years ago, but it is our thumbnail for this broadcast as well. It's the giant spider. So if you want to see it, go look at our thumbnail of the video. That is the Spider's Web. But we haven't actually seen it on the broadcast.
In other words, they needed something to distinguish the track from any other American forgettable circuits. They put a giant spider there.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I mean, Miami's put a fake harbour in the circuit as well to try and make it look entertaining.
That is pathetic. And in many ways, I wish I still had a podcast so I can complain about things like that.
You could call it what really grinds my gears and literally have it as a motorsport gears. That could be fantastic. 2 to go then here, and I think everybody's cheering at this point that the race is going to be over, because sadly it has been quite dull once again. It should liven up though, as we heard earlier on. Isaac said in the chat room, the road course is next for Indianapolis on the 15th of May, and that is always an absolute belter. I can't wait for that coming up. Race 2 was boring last year, but race 1 was electric. And of course, coming up, we've got all the practice sessions as well, the Indy qualifying days, bump day, everything, carb day. It is white flag in the year for the Grand Prix of Alabama. Pato O'Ward will take his 3rd win of his IndyCar career and his first of the season. 4 different winners in 4 different races as well, so that's something to write home about. We would think it was competitive, but it hasn't really been competitive the last 2 races. It's just been all about qualifying. But yeah, the Indy 500 at the end of May, that is going to be 500 miles, 250 laps around that circuit. About 4 hours of racing. I can't wait for it. We're going to be on here as well nearly all day because we've got a Formula 1 race at Monaco. We've got MotoGP at Mugello. So literally, it's party day. We're literally having a massive party because we'll go from the glitz and glamour of Monaco to the mad Italians of MotoGP in Mugello and over to the absolute insane Americans for the Indy 500. But one driver who has done a fantastic job today, really heated up the tyres after the second stop. It's Pato O'Ward, who exits the last corner and admittedly wins a rather dull Grand Prix of Alabama, but nevertheless, he's a 3-time winner in the NTT Data IndyCar Series. Pato O'Ward wins here in Alabama. Cross the line second is Alex Palou. He held him to less than a second at the end. He used all his push to pass to try. Palou is second. Venus VK finishes in third, and admittedly, we should have won today, but the tyres couldn't get heated up when he left the pit lane after the second stop. Will Power is fourth, and Scott Dixon rounds out the top 5. Across the line then, it'll be Scott McLaughlin 6th. Romain Grosjean finishes 7th. He did pass Graham Rahal in the end, so we didn't see that on the TV pictures, but he has passed him. Further down as well, cross it, we'll see. Hopefully we'll see if the timing screens do change for us, because it's all gone up now. Yep, there we go.
Award 1, Palou was 2nd.
Herta 10th, Pagano 11th.
4, 6, and 5th, McLaughlin 6th.
Yep, Rossi 9th, Herta 10th, Pagano 11th, Ericsson 12th, Sato 13th, Newgarden 14th, and Lundgaard 15th. Rosenquist is 16th, 17th for WTC Francesco, Harvey 18th, Daly 19th, McCulker's 20th, Cashnever 21st, Kirkwood, a lap down in 22nd, Dalton Kellett 23rd, Jimmy Johnson 24th, Callum Ilott 25th. And Tatiana Calderon 2 laps down in 26th position. Callum Ilott spun, caused a caution, went 2 laps down, and still finished ahead of Tatiana Calderon. That's worrying.
Yes, and I don't wish to be harsh on Tatiana. However, I don't really think she's a particularly on-pace driver in this series. And in fairness, you could argue that it's partly the car, but
if you put Jamie Chadwick in that, she'll go quicker.
Well,
Jamie was quicker than Tatiana for sure.
Oh yes, absolutely. Jamie Chadwick's probably the best female driver in the world.
Yeah, I'd agree on that. Or Susie Wolf one time.
I know there are some people that would say you shouldn't be saying best female driver in the world because it's all one category, but I think if we're going to, Jamie Chadwick gets it.
I love Jamie Chadwick. Absolutely. She's an amazing driver and an amazing racer, and I just feel sorry she hasn't been able to progress up to Formula 3 due to money as well. That's not fair. She should be there on talent and be able to be given a drive as well on talent. Inter is just about to go green as Isaac as well says, geez, that was a race, says as well. Isaac, I encourage you, we do other watch-alongs for other series. Join us for Formula 1 next week in Miami, because that is going to be a cracker. So do join us for that, Isaac. But thanks. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy it as well. Tom, I am going to let you go because you're going to watch IMSA. So I want to let you have your moment of the race as well, because IMSA's about to go green.
The end.
Nice. I'd agree. Right. I'll stay on here. Thanks, Tom. I'll let you go.
Thank you very much.
See you later. Bye-bye.
See you later.
And I'm now going to try and not get sued by pressing that button so it doesn't go off. And I'm going to ask if Josh Plays can hop in commentary box 1, please. Josh, hop in comms box 1 so we can have a word about everything that was happening in that race. And there you go. Hello, Josh. How are you doing?
No, I cannot jump into Combox 1.
I couldn't hear you throughout most of the race as well, but that was an exciting race. You've got to admit, though, it's getting a little bit boring at times, as I as I desperately try and get that camera angle working correctly. I can't do it at the moment. So what do you think of that one then? Because it was boring, wasn't it, Josh?
It was a bit boring, wasn't it?
It was. Let's hear from Pato O'Ward, though. He's down in pit lane while I get Josh up on the screen.
Number 4 of the season. And what a smooth weekend as well for the 5 bunch.
Well, we
nice
should be hearing
to see
from
you in victory lane, Pato. Win number 3, but I got to ask you about how aggressive you had to play that pass on VK to get the lead. And at the moment, did you know that was maybe the pass for the win?
Yeah, but Taylor told me that we're fighting for the win. When we almost got him in the pit stop, so I said, no, this is a chance, man. It was so tough to follow just because it's such a fast and flowing circuit. So I knew if I would have the opportunity, it would have been right then and there. So I got on my button and got around him into 5. And you know, I knew if we would get into clean air, we could kind of control the thing. So once we did that, it was, yeah, cruise to victory lane.
There was a lot of turmoil around this team just a few weeks ago. You came into Long Beach saying, I'm putting it all behind me. How much did that mental shift help you behind the wheel?
Man, it sucks to be at war within your own team, right? So I'm glad there's been very positive talks for the future. And man, I wanted to do it for these guys. I wanted to do it for Aero, for our Mclaren SP, Team Chevy. They've swept this year so far, so I think it's great for them. And yeah, man, I was tired of being 10th and 11th and 5th, so I said, let's get a win under our belt so we can claw our way back into this championship fight.
And he has done that. Pato O'Ward winds up in victory lane here at Barber Motorsports Park.
Ah, fantastic. I only found out about the Channel 3, the BCCC during the week. Oh, brilliant. Myself and Josh Plays on the commentary for that. And Josh is joining me now up in the comms box as well to talk all things IndyCar from that one as well. And I think, Josh, I hope you agree with me as well. What a boring race that was. Nothing happened. That was thanks to Tom as well for joining me in the race there as well, with Megan not being well. She couldn't join me in the race, but I think she's looked out actually because I'm tired. What about you, Josh? That was I'm looking forward to Indianapolis. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it was a very boring race. I have counted. There was only in the whole race, including the pit lane exit and formation lap and start methods, 10 race control messages.
Oh.
And
10,
around 3 to 4 of them were pre-race.
That's insane. That is actually insane. All right, okay, that's not fair. Okay, so we're about wrapped up. Let's take a look at the standings after 4 races, shall we? Alex Palou leads the way on 114 points. He's 3 clear of Scott McLaughlin as we head over to Indianapolis. Joseph Newgarden is 9 points back. Will Power's 4th on 10 points back. Pato O'Ward is 30 points back in 5th. Scott Dixon 6th. Venus VK 7th. Romain Grosjean's 8th. Marcus Ericsson 9th. And Graham Rahal is in 10th place as well on the podiums. Let's hear from Alex Palou, finished 2nd.
The pit stop difference. Pato had a couple laps on you when you came out of the pits for your 2nd stop. Was that the difference ultimately?
Well, we had a good day overall. Super happy with the P2. Yeah, I don't know. He was running 2nd at that time. I think we were running 4th, and just that track difference, that's what got us. I think I did a mistake on a restart, and the 27 got us there. So I think that was all the difference. The number 5 was really fast today, but yeah, super happy with the number 10 American Legion Honda car. Was super fast all weekend, and another podium. So we were fighting till the end. Couldn't make it today, but we'll try on the next one.
You obviously continue your strong start to the year, and we get ready to. It's officially now the month of May, and we're obviously going to IMS for a couple different races. But how are you feeling heading into the month here through 4 races?
Yeah, amazing. We couldn't started the year better. The month of May is here, as you said. It's today, so cannot wait. Such a special month for us. Starting with Indy Road Course, I think it's going to be awesome. Like we had good cars there in the past, so yeah, cannot wait. And Indianapolis 500 is coming.
And how big is it just to go into not only the Grand Prix but the 500 too? Just to be really solid. You guys have run well on the street course. You run well on the ovals. You're really firing on all cylinders. It seems like.
Yeah, we have a really solid overall group, let's say. We've been really strong in street courses and road courses. I'm missing a little bit on ovals, but I got really comfortable doing the test days there at the Speedway, so cannot wait to go there and show if we have something.
Alex Palou starts the month off strong. He finishes 2nd today at Barber. Kevin.
So, we're going to wrap up there. And Josh, Pato won a pole here last year, lost out, finished in 4th. He's fought back this year and has taken victory after starting 4th. How weird. As well. Started 2nd, though. Going into Indianapolis in a few weeks' time as well. Are you excited to kick off the month of May? It's the big one. It takes over all our lives. Are you going to enjoy what's coming up?
I am. I have... of course, I play real racing free, if no one know already, and I've done the IndyCar Indianapolis. Sorry,
excuse me, I've done that tonight.
Turn 1 is very, very hard.
Yes, it's a sudden break on the road course, isn't it? 90-degree right as well, so it's going to be fun.
That was perfect. As soon as I switched to NASCAR, they went to green.
NASCAR's green? Okay, cool. We've got to go then, because I've got to take an eye on that to be on the show later for Grid Network. Okay, my thanks to everyone for joining us today across MotoGP and IndyCar, and yesterday as well in Formula E. Barber Motorsport Park, let's hope we have a better race next year. That's all I can say. My thanks to you, Josh, for being in the pit lane and race control and for joining me up here now. My big thanks to Tom Dillon as well for joining me in the commentary box for the broadcast. It wasn't exactly a great race to commentate on, but it was fun being in the commentary box with you as well. So we'll get him back on later on in the year. Next time out then, it is the Grand Prix of Indianapolis for IndyCar, but Formula One heads over to Miami, so we stay stateside for the Miami Grand Prix next weekend as well at the Hard Rock Stadium circuit. And then, of course, it's also the return of W Series. Megan will be back in the lead commentary role for that alongside myself for that one, and we'll have a bit more pre and post race show. Now it's on Sky. We actually know what we're going to do with it as well. So join us next week for all of the action. From myself, from Josh Pays, and from Dom Dillon, thank you very much for joining us. It's goodbye from the Barber Motorsport Park. And for UK, it's bye from Birmingham in Leeds. Goodbye for now.